throughout the season might not be necessary. So, like I mentioned in the middle of the clubhouse game, we do have a new caster coming in the middle of this. CZ now joining me on the desk, well, virtual desk in Discord. But unfortunately, Crazy Man having some tech issues had to back out. So it'll be me and CZ taking us home on game number 2. CZ, how you doing? And what do you think is going to come down between this matchup?
Just great. I mean, the last matchup, DG versus Motivate, a lot of people, the community vote was really towards the DG side, but we saw Motivate take it out. Same sort of situation, top seed team versus middle seed team. But I think Sinister will be able to win this out in convincing fashion. They have a lot of coordination. They're all really good fraggers, everyone in this lobby. But I just think Sinister Academy will be ready for the aggressive play of Armada. And we'll see a pretty standard match between the two. I would like to see Bank. I would be very interested to see that, but I don't think we'll get that.
So, teams are ready for our first map. Of Oregon. We're going to be hopping in right now to Oregon. I'm not really surprised to see the bans come out for maps this way. Oregon border, the standard 2. We obviously in CCS do not have this new fancy Pro League system where we eliminate the most commonly 2-played maps from the previous week. We are keeping all 7 maps at the luxury and availability to all teams to play whenever the hell they please. And just last game, we saw new Clubhouse come out. A rare map, and the bans came down, and I'm happy to see some newer maps. And even if we went to a decider, it would have been Consulate, a map we've been seeing less and less of here in CCS at least.
Well, for first ban, we see Sinister ban out Glass. I do really like that ban, more so than a Blackbeard ban, especially in Oregon, because Glass can really help for both the top and bottom push. Armada will ban out Thermite. We're seeing a lot of Thermite bans. SK made it popular in PL. Now we're seeing it at the more community league side. I do like that ban a lot because Thermite is really powerful here. He opens up those big holes in the small dorms, generator, as you might call it. And then we see a Pulse ban that can help them. Armada is attacking first, so they don't have to deal with that downstairs Nitro cell from the Pulse. So that's just for some peace of mind on their sake. And then the last ban coming out from Sinister. I'm expecting to see some sort of maybe a Vigil or some sort of hard roamer just so they can really close them down into sight easily. It is a smoke. I am entirely wrong. I should not be making predictions ever again. So the smoke ban, that's pretty huge actually. Really changes up the meta of this map. How do you think that'll have an impact on Sinister's rounds?
Well, thankfully we got a Mira for the second game in a row through the ban phase. I'm very, very, very against the banning of Mira, not from a gameplay perspective, but just from a viewership or casting perspective. It's very chaotic once the Mira gets banned out. Everyone kind of loses their heads a little bit. And speaking of chaos, we have a Finka, we have a Fuse, we have a Montaigne coming out from Armada for round number 1. Fuse going to swap to the Blitz as Blitz was not banned out. Armada looking to try and take this the aggressive route to start as Sinister head downstairs for their primary defense for laundry supply, bringing out a Mira, Maestro, and Echo, and a Castle. I'm thinking maybe we're going to be seeing a hard meeting home that we've hard meeting hold, sorry, that we've become familiar to see from Sinister.
So the Maestro and Echo can help stall out that Finka rush, but with no smoke, I think that's why Armada banned the smoke. I'm pretty sure it was Armada that banned it. It'll make the Finka much harder to counter, especially without a Legion. I imagine Sinister will be bringing a Legion after this round once they see what Armada's cooking up in the strat book. Now we're gonna, yeah, definitely that meeting hold that you were mentioning. So they're gonna extend it out the kitchen though.
10 seconds left.
Get the castle barricade on that front door. They have the Maestro playing up by the stage, setting up. So I imagine he's putting a camera over there to watch. So what is? Do you think they're just gonna rush red here, Flynn?
The Thermite being banned out makes it a little more difficult to have the surface area necessary to kind of push through there with a shield, and also have the angles covered from behind with a gun. You've only got 3 rifles on the board with the Finka. The Zofia and the Habana, and I imagine they'll still go top down, but I feel like the aggression is going to be coming out on the roam clear more than anything, and then the aggression towards site will be repelled a little bit, like you said, by that Echo, by the Maestro. And here's the roam clear talking about with the shields. Flock immediately rushing into the kids, and they're going to drop the hatch. Flock inside, but Smurfin's going to turn the hatch and drop Flock. And now a hold from RTC trying to survive. He ducks down, and Detox going to finish him off. RTC going to fall. At least they get the trade, and they take down a massive roam clear operator in the Blitz. Finka charge comes out. The Echo drone from sipping on OJ. Inside of meeting, still going to attempt the hold. Meister up in the attic playing hatch. Unshielding is the Montaigne of J. Multiply. Oh my! Brings out the ADS with the Finka charge. One taps Rudy. Finka charge will evaporate now with the Echo blast. So down to a 4v3 in favor of Armada. So it looks like Smurfin's going to evacuate down the back tower stairs.
I'd be a little mad if I was Rudy on that Maestro. That was a nice shot by Jay on the Montaigne there. Smurfin just patiently playing those back stairs, hoping to see if they push the back. Looking like a more standard front take now for the plant. And there is no smoke, so it is going to be kind of tough to deter that plant, especially with a Monty there. And Maestro's dead, so he can't be zapping anybody on those cams.
Bomb located by attackers.
Going to see a Nitro potentially coming out here, but Smurfin is back up in meeting. Not sure if the attackers know they're there. Someone might have just rotated. Yep, someone just rotated into kitchen to hold the flank. So they are aware of Jaeger's position. Smurfin just going to play it patiently, hope to get peaked, but Detox will win the fight against Smurfin on that Finka. 4 up, Sinister down with 2. I'm not sure where my friend Flynn went. I'm going to be casting guys through this. Jay taking the melee out onto the laundry, and Finka finishing off. Shot onto sipping on OJ. So really strong attack there from the AES. I don't think Sinister was really ready for the 2 shield Finka push. So I just got word from Flynn. His feed is sort of dying. So we're just going to keep it going. You guys can hear the lovely sound of my voice. And we're going to see no Legion. I don't like that, but they are going to go to rear stage watchtower. And we are seeing 1 shield. I imagine AES is going to 6-pick onto a Blitz. Probably that Flock of the IQ. We still have the Maestro, Echo, Mira, Jaeger. The only change is I think it was... I forget who the 5th operator was for the last defense. Alright, I think Flynn is back, so Flynn's going to talk you through their setup.
We back. Lots of tech issues. Tech issues are fun. So, similar lineup coming out, just Flock swapping to the IQ instead of the Blitz from last round on attack. Same 5 defenders coming out on the defensive side, I believe. From Sinister. So Armada take the first round on the advantage of that roam clear with the shield ADSing so quickly with the Finka. Rear tower stage defense coming out from Sinister in round number 2. Something we've seen a couple times now as an aggressive play to try and stall out the attack. And if you're facing this much aggression from a team, bringing the Finka and the shields, don't really see why you don't want to stall this out. It's a very good tactic to at least slow down the attacks, although I imagine Armada, having been stalled out by this a couple times, just not really sure of where their positioning should be, where their take should be coming from. Looked like Smurfin was going to go for a peek out the dorm's windows, now being pressured from big window, not holding the angle anymore. Anthony going to hop on the drone and just miss Smurfin crossing to the top of white. Now hopping on the drone. They're slightly missing each other. Jay is that Montaigne, just going to push up nice and slow with a couple drones in front to give him the info. Trying to clear out kitchen and meeting. Okay, spots out the rotate, but he'll push back a little bit. Doesn't want to get too aggressive early on as he doesn't have a lot of support. Now pushing up the white stairs as Rudy has come in and filled in on Smurfin's position. The shotgun pistol coming out. He just sees the head of the attacker pushing into kitchen. Smurfin joining. Going to drop. Flock covering on the drop as well. And as Rudy falls through the hatch, He's even able to rotate back into meeting.
Getting shot by his own team right there. But they have the Finka, so that should help them out.
Bomb located by attackers.
So only losing one on that kid's dorm hold. Maestro able to rotate back to site. The attackers look to take meeting right now. We got RTC on the stage as the castle, holding a nice little pixel angle, trying to see if he can catch the back of the Monty as Rudy baits him through. He does. He gets a few shots off, but not enough to take down that pain shield. Finka will go down there, but Jay on the Monty still up. It's a 3v3. Now it's a 3v2 as Sinister loses Rudy on that backstage. Aviation getting a nice shot onto Ainsley, but now it's a 1v2 for the Monty. Jay on very low health. I'd be surprised to see him pull this out, but weirder things have happened here on CCS. Now we got Mira on that top hatch and one sipping on OJ on that back tower stairs. They're just going to play it very passively, which is the play here against a Monty like Jay. He's going to go for the plant here. I'm not sure if the attackers must know what's happening, but the drone is too far away. He's going to get the plant off. If this Monty gets the plant off, then it is going to be very tough to catch him off guard when he just sits in the corner. So C4 going to be coming out. They're really going to have to pinch this Monty well here. If they take it 1v1 fights, they will lose. Now, Sippin's going to have to 1v1 a Montaigne. Oh, man, that is not very fun. I know from personal experience, but let's see if Sippin can make it work here. They do have echo drones above. He's going to try and take that shield down. Jay will take out the yokai. 1v1. It's looking very close. And Sippin will win it out, and he goes for the diffuser. He does have enough time. So nice play by Sippin, but really nice play by Jay there. Taking the fights one-on-one, trying to focus at each. It was sort of a misplay. They really should have had Ideation and Sippin fight it together. But it worked out in the end. So now we're going to go to round 3, 1-1 scoreline. I think Flynn is having technical difficulties again. F's in chat for Flynn, so you can hear my painful voice a little bit longer. So Jay and Detox both having a lot of kills, but it's really Jay on that Monty is he's just a force to be reckoned with. They opted to go without the Blitz. I'm curious to see if they'll go without it again, but actually no Finka, no shield. But they're gonna, I bet you Rudy is gonna 6-pick Tool Frost, expecting that shield push again. But Armada actually changing up the strategy. Let's see if any 6-picks do come out. Oh, we see a Legion pick. See, that's much better. Even regardless of shields or no shields, I think a Legion pick is very, very strong.
Hey, guys.
Oh, Flynn is back.
This is getting irritating, but I think the 9th time should do it. So, yeah, that round coming down to a 1v2 is the Montaigne of Jay trying to push through meeting. An unfortunate 1v1, leaving Sip on OJ. Just to constantly battle back and forth, and a lot of unshielding going on from that Montaigne of Jay, but obviously very low on HP. He was only going to take, I think, 1 or 2 shots from that close of a range to at least down him and finish off the down Montaigne. That's exactly what Sip on OJ does. He had a lot of time on his hands as well, playing very close to sight. So once again, Sinister going to be holding inside of meeting this pantry mirror. So they tied things up, winning the rear stage and tower defense. Not a sentence that it's brought out very often in Armada, like CZ touched on. Dropping the shields. Top floor defense now. Sinister running the gambit of sights. And the push looking to be coming from tower mostly from Armada.
So the meeting hold is definitely curious to me. I don't see that very often with a top floor hold. I'm curious to see how this works. We have Smurfin playing below. There's a lot of ways to rotate down there. You can run to the garage or back tower depending on where the enemies are pushing from. Now you're seeing them take the back towers, so Smurfin will likely rotate to the back stairs if he wants an early frag, or he'll just take that information and go back to the front lobby. What do you think about this pantry mirror, Flynn?
I think typically we're a little more accustomed to seeing like a kitchen hold from an upstairs defense as far as the mirrors, although I guess you can use it as a longer range deterrent for grabbing any of that control inside of kitchen. So instead of putting it on that dining wall and possibly being pinched out from showers and showers hallway, the safety of being inside pantry. You don't have as much visibility, and they haven't even ripped open the kitchen to dining wall.
No.
But there's less of the possibility of a pinch coming through, unless Armada do precisely this and go for the tower take and come in from behind. Connector window castle barricade is going to be opened up by Ainsley using one of his Hibana charges on it. Yeah, Armada seemingly really unable to put the Legion mine up through the floorboards. Armada have zero intention of going for a generator master take. They are full on board for this Dorm's windows take. The impacts come flying in. Stun canisters from Anthony come flying in. Disorient. Sipping on OJ. That Echo playing inside of Dorm. Sprays coming out in behind the bomb. Unable to finish off Sipping on OJ. Flock going to send out the EOD. Flashbangs coming in. Sipping still at half. Detected by the EOD. Prone to the ground. Easy free fire for Jay. A minute on the board. They have the man advantage. The Echo's off, but Rudy ties it up from down below to the floorboard. Sorry, Ainsley. Trigger right back out onto Smurfin though. Still looking for the repel, and the Hibana in a bad position. Aviation right up against the windows. Ties up man count again. RTC can still go for a very late flank. Flock seems to be holding for it though. Detox can take down the mirror of Aviation and makes his way into Dorms. Going rotate to big window. The second EOD coming out as Anthony as diffuser is going to file in right behind. Peng is coming out onto Flock playing on the T1 stage. The plant coming down from Anthony finishes up inside of Dorms. Now it's up to RTC and Rudy to come back to site and try and retake and get the defuse. Less than 40 seconds on the board now. Try and take this retake of Dorms with a player playing all the way back and one inside of Attic. RTC spraying in towards the kids' windows, and now Anthony drops RTC. Detox finishes it off onto Rudy. And Armada with a full window tower take. Execute flawlessly in, get the plant down. No chance for a retake for Sinister, and they're looking strong, at least through 3 rounds on Oregon.
Armada's staple is really just moving fast, taking the unexpected route, and they really did just that right there. Take the big tower, but instead of pushing through the attic to get master control, they just straight up went for the Dorms take. Not a lot of big window pressure either. They just powered through it. I really do respect that. Now we're going to see the Legion still being picked just in case that shield rush comes back out from Armada, but it's not. We're going to see the same lineup they had last time as they attack on the same site. I'm curious to see if we'll get that same pantry mirror. I don't really like that at all. It really kind of forced them to take the back tower take, and they weren't really prepared to deal with the back tower kids' dorms rush.
It just it feels a little redundant to have that mirror. I guess it's a good safety rotate for Rudy as that Legion playing downstairs, because he's playing inside of kitchen already. So the mirror does nothing for him. It's not going to stop him from dying. If he's going to die from anywhere, it's going to be from inside of dining, or if someone pushes through bathroom and gets up against the soft wall. I mean, it's where you're most likely going to die from there, and that mirror doesn't help stop any of that. Could be a safety rotate back, but yeah, it's interesting. It looks like they're at least setting up the rotate in the reinforcement again.
Mirror's there. I imagine they're doing it again.
Yeah, the reinforcement could just be no. They're going for it. They're sending it. And with this tower take coming out, like you said, they're not prepared for the tower take at all with the setup. There's a lot of utility placed towards delaying a push in and try and gain that kitchen control to get some verticality on the master take. But for the tower take, Armada have no intention of getting into kitchen. They have no intention of doing anything but holding that rotate to tower through stage. That's really their only intention of holding, at least on the inside of the map. Really, they're just going for the windows.
Yeah, the best tool Sinister had on that last round to defend the Dorms take was Rudy playing below in that kitchen. He got 1 kill onto Jay as the IQ on it. We are seeing a more standard master take come out here now.
Yeah, full rotate coming up from Armada compared to last round. Nobody able to shotgun open some peak holes. Is the smoke band off the board, the most common utility for that shotgun to come out and make some peak holes down towards bottom white, make some rotates, only leaving aviation right now, but you have 4 impacts on the board as well. The bonus charge is coming out on the generator, pretty standard. Free fire's coming in, nothing looking too crazy, so now Armada have gone for a full shift after definitively winning their Dorms windows take.
I do like the deployable shield there, but it's going to be taken out as I say that. Yeah, so I usually bandit wire that, but there is no bandit on Sinister's lineup right now. So they won't be able to play that shield no longer. Sort of a little bit of a wasted utility, but they baited out in one of Anthony's impact launcher nades. Echo drone going down. So, I mean, this is looking very easy for Armada to get this plant down. One Echo drone left, that Q scanner still up, so she's going to know where that thing is. But we have Smurfing on the flank. Not getting anything.
Impact rotation going to be opened up, doing a little bit of team damage as well. I think it was like 1 or 2. But Smurfing also giving away his position. He had been droned out once before earlier in the round, but I don't think anyone confirmed that he stayed. Still 5v5 with less than a minute left. Sprays coming from the big window, but Jay taking the brunt of the damage. No one on Sinister really taking anything. The EODs come out as frag grenades come flying in. The push seems to be coming for the generator plant from Ainsley now, pushing in as the Habana with Diffuser. Detox going to drop Smurfing as he's still over by tower. Sprays coming through the floor. Rudy going to trade out Anthony. Jay, although it's a flurry of trades back and forth, Jay grabs 2, Rudy trades it back, sipping on OJ claims another victim. It's down to a 2v2 suddenly. Now coming up White to join Jay. They're both pushing as the phone calls are still coming out. Top of White stairs, one rotates. That's the flock of Lion. Gonna be heading main stairs, and Jay spraying wildly in towards the dorms behind the bomb. Through the soft wall, just trying to land anything. 15 seconds, no diffuser in hand as it's lost in the middle of the hallway. An easy hold from Rudy in behind the A-bomb. Full HP, 10 seconds to push. Has to come out from Armada now, but he peeks too wide. Rudy will fall, sipping trades. Now it's down to sipping on OJ versus Jay. And Jay wins it. The 5-5-2. Able to push in the dying seconds in Armada. Much closer this time around, but the same result. A successful attack on to dorms and generator site.
Echo should not have taken that fight right there. If it's a 1v1 with that much time left, you know where the diffuser's at, you need to just sit back and wait for the counter to go down. Flock made a really good read there. They're both on White, and Flock decided to run through the main lobby up to those armory stairs, and that was definitely a play to make. As we see Armada up 3-1 against Sinister on Oregon. I think that smoke ban is really impacting Sinister Academy, because I know we usually see, I think it's Sipping on OJ is a really good smoke player. So I'm wondering if that was a target ban or to help their sort of meta-style play.
Well, I think in that round of smoke definitely would have benefited them. Because the push is coming out later and later in each of the rounds. We saw a push coming very early in the first round with that hard aggression with the shields. In the second round at the tower, they got impeded severely by the initial frags coming out from Sinister, taking that immediate advantage. Then the attack upstairs the first time around through dorms windows. 45 seconds left by the time they actually have some site control. And that round, there was 10 seconds left on the board when finally the remaining 2 attackers push into site. So Armada are slowing down on each of their attacks and having a smoke to repel them. Just that little extra bit longer probably could have won Sinister the round. And you're right, I think it's coming out as a shock to Sinister. And just as we saw in the first game on both maps between Motivate and DG, the Juggernaut, the expected champion of this matchup, down 3-1 on their first map.
Yeah, definitely not the outcome we were expecting. Let's see if Armada can hold on to that commanding lead. But last time they attacked the downstairs, they did so with a Finka and 2 shields. This time they have 5 rifles, no shields, no Finka. So let's see how this goes.
Last attacking round for Armada. The drone's coming out, spotting Smurfing. The Echo drone from Sipping on OJ in support, but the IQ of Jay has done a good job of dispatching out those Echo drones, and he's going to be searching once again for them. 30 seconds deep, trying to go for this roam clear. Plenty of drones coming in through kitchen. As it's the downstairs hold this time, Smurfing evacuates to meetings. He's got support topside in attic from RTC, but it was the Maestro last time peeking that attic hatch that got decimated by a Finka ADSing Montaigne. This time around, no Finka, no shields, so we might be able to take a more fair engagement this time around. Lots of shots raining outside from a Habana of Ainsley, and that's Anthony shooting down the main stairs, trying to spot out Sipping on OJ's second Echo drone, as the first one was out on the roam. Not sure if Jay has cleared that out yet or not. And it looks like Armada have absolutely zero intention of doing anything about this meeting hold coming in from Sinister, going full site-centric, and it's working for them. They just need to wait for that castle barricade on the front door to pop out. Ainsley at least going to distract the person playing in attic by breaching the hole and popping out the master balcony window. RTC playing behind the sandbags. Midway through the round, first EOD and phone call coming out. Aggressive push. Now answering the phone calls are all the defenders, held in place by the EOD above. Still have a little bit of a kitchen side presence from the attacking side of Armada. But the full push, again, still very focused on the objective. Got one or two people really dealing with the roam clear at a time, but they're just looking to hold the roamers at bay, really. They're not even trying to engage, as they're all focused on getting this plant down. Ainsley has dropped off the master balcony. Should be starting to go for this plant soon. They do have the smoke grenades on Detox. Anthony just holding RTC at bay and behind the sandbags, constantly disorienting with the stun canisters, and Jay with the frag grenade will dispatch of him. Second EOD coming out as two attackers start filing down the main stairs. The smoke grenades coming out as the ADSs were burned previously. A nitro cell prep from Aviation as there's no smoke. They're just going to have to launch everything. Rudy going to rush up into the smoke, heading to Laundry Bin, able to take down one. Ainsley trades it back out. The diffuser is lost behind Laundry Bin, but they still have a second smoke grenade from Detox to utilize. Picked up the diffuser, but immediately taken down by Aviation, trying to go in for a third attempt at the plant. The Echo Drone still in position. The Nitro Cell comes out. Aviation removing Detox, and now a fourth attempt for the plant. Sipping on OJ takes him down from the hallway. Jay falls. It's all Flock dropping Box in the back with a silent drop, spraying in towards Laundry. Takes down Sipping on OJ in a hallway, but the wide peak for Smurfin as he falls in behind in Box, and that is Sinister stopping the bleeding. Only dropping the first half 3-2 as they'll now head to their attacks.
Yeah, this game could definitely go either way right now. So as we head into Sinister's attacking phase, 3-2. This round means a lot. It's how Sinister comes in swinging on attack. If Armada takes this round, it'll be a 4-2 scoreline, and it's a bit more intimidating to come back from. So we're going to see the Rudy on the blitz. I'm not sure if he'll stick it. And it's looking like he is going to stick it. So let's see if they have similar sort of attack strategy as Armada, sort of just push hard and take out those attackers, take those gunfights. Now, do you think we're going to see a flop on the scoreboard here, or do you think Armada's going to keep the momentum?
Well, I'm very surprised. Well, we got Flock swapping on 6, as I mean, that's not much different. I was going to say, very anchor-heavy from Armada, a team that we usually see employ a lot of aggression on defense. They want to get up in your face and take that initial fight. They want to repel you from gaining any entry into the building. They're playing 4 typical anchors. I mean, you could send a roaming Doc. I mean, it's not out of the question for this team.
I would not be surprised to see Doc spawn peak.
Yeah, and that's another thing, you know, bringing out that aggression early. Like I said, bring that engagement immediately. That's Armada's game. They bring the fight to you. They're not a team that's going to sit back. But this lineup, at least operator-wise, does seem like maybe just a loadout that seems like they're going to sit back and wait. And maybe they're expecting a similar aggressive push from Sinister.
Wonder where those mirrors going right now.
Looking for a drone, I suppose. Just checking to see if anyone's going to drone out.
Checking out the showers, seeing if they're clean.
Yeah, she reinforced the
later.
She reinforced the left side of showers wall and left the right side soft. So I was curious.
Well, because there's an angle from the when you enter showers. There's a little tiny angle you can see the top away from.
Mm-hmm.
That's why teams will opt to only reinforce one of those walls.
I was just curious if she was actually going to consider putting a mirror on the left side and leave the right side soft and have someone hard hold and just make sure that no one droned it out, because it'd be easily taken care of from bottom white window if the information was there. But maybe someone gets a little too antsy, hops in the showers window, and you start your round off early. Sinister replicating a little bit from what we saw of Armada, going for this tower take at least initially, and lots of kill holes coming up through the floor with, it looks like, Detox, the Legion playing below. Inside of... No, not Detox. We have... Oh, we got everyone on site.
Yes, we do.
Everyone's just cordoned up, and... Oh, there goes Flock now, going for the drop, an Echo Drone. In pairing, finally we got a roamer downstairs. It's the roaming Maestro, not... Oh, ping is coming out through the soft wall from the Echo Drone. It's a shield of Rudy Cat, though, the Blitz. And the drone will escape to safety. As it disorients Rudy, he'll sit in the corner and wait it out, as no harm, no foul. Rushing back towards the white stairs is Ainsley the Doc, who tried to come down and establish a crossfire with Flock. But he'll back off, and they'll try to utilize the kill holes to the floor, if anything, to dispatch of Rudy. Exactly what they attempt to do, and successfully. Flock, actually from inside, distracted was Rudy from the kill holes above. Now peeking the big window, Jay getting aggressive from his rotate. The Capital Firebolt gonna hold him at bay, but Flock going for the run out, dining. Anthony also drops RTC. It's all up to Aviation. Suddenly he falls to Ainsley. Armada bringing the anchors, but also bringing the aggression. Armada gonna extend their lead 2 rounds now. Sinister, just, again, no entry into the building, really. They get on rappels in the windows. They get some tower control. They start pushing over, and it's all done. The ACOGs come out for Armada, and a very, very aggressive peek from the Mirror of Jay to drop that Zofia.
It seemed a little disjointed from Sinister. They didn't really commit to that top take. That 2 minutes into the round, they sent Blitz downstairs with somebody on drones trying to take out the bottom, contesting Maestro. But it really didn't do much as we saw him get fragged out, and then the flurry of frags as Flock just ran out the dining doorway. So a little bit more of a roam-heavy lineup we're seeing come out. Castle switch to the Mute. Mute's a very good pick.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So Armada definitely continuing that momentum they had from their attacking rounds here, as Sinister has 2 rounds to Armada's 4. Sinister's really going to need to step up and answer here, otherwise they risk going to match point in Armada's favor. So let's see if we have a... Flynn, are you having technical difficulties again?
No, just letting you say your piece, man.
Someone just left the Discord, so I got a little confused. All right, so similar hold as Sinister did. Armada is going to be putting this mirror facing into pantry, likely a little bit of a mirror hold, probably someone playing up an attic. Curious to see if you get attackers of Sinister to choose to go from tower or kid storms here.
Hello, Jay. How you doing? Okay.
Interesting.
Spawning construction. But you went for the peak.
Viewer is not your normal spawn peeking operator, but all the power to her as we see a westward clear coming out from the attackers. Rudy on that blitz again. I do like that pick. Rudy is a good blitz player and really makes roam clear very easy. So what do you expect from this round, Fun?
Could go either way, honestly. I mean, this meeting hold has been a point of contention for a long time on Oregon hold. Being shot through the drone hole, though, sipping on OJ. Points up his feet for a couple bullets. He'll back off. It was, I believe, Ainsley on the Mute playing left corner. I'm not exactly sure how many people got stacked up in here. It might have been Jay laying prone. The Echo drone in main lobby right now, trying to get some scouting done onto the attack. And this meeting hold has either been, you have to clear it out rather quickly. You have to go for the full push and either force them to drop or get your trade outs on the frags, or simply ignore it and wait for them to come to you. There's no castle on the board, so it makes that push out a little more unpredictable. Smoke grenade is going to clear it off, though, from Rudy as smoke bolts head downstairs from the Capitao. Echo drone being sent out from Anthony, but it's going to have to go the long way around. The blitz just drops in from Rudy Cat, stepping on a Legion mine. Now one coming hallway on his flank, sipping on OJ, going to gun him down, though. Jay going to trade it back onto Aviation. He gets 2 as Rudy follows. Anthony gets a 3rd. RTC dropping. Armada looking to be in full control of Sinister's attack, trying to go for the immediate rush. Sipping on OJ, pulls off the plant, still gets gunned down by Ainsley. Now it's all down to Smurfin. 1v4 above the hatch is the Zofia, still 80 seconds on the board. Phone call still ringing out in Ainsley's pocket. He does not exactly care. Diffuser lost in behind the washing machine. You still have 1 playing the mirror, and you have 3 in supply room. All wild pre-fires coming up to the hatch as Smurfin back against the wall, an impossible task at hand, and needs to start establishing some 1v1s, but no one on Armada are going to give it to him. He's just going to flounder back and forth here unless the throw of the century comes out from Armada. Now cycling down the stairs, still over 75 HP, but once pressed up close inside Laundry, they blow their own mirror to try and pre-fire him, and it works out. Anthony drops Smurfin. 200 IQ play right there. And that's Armada putting us on a match point on map number 1 of Oregon.
Well done by Armada, really. So Sinister opting to ignore that meeting hold, and they all just got picked off, and we saw that Zofia just all on their lonesome, trying to get that diffuser down to no avail. So we're going to see a kids' dorm main hall hold come out again. Now, last time they did it, they had a lot of roamers, a lot of ACOG, not a lot of roamers, a lot of anchors, and a lot of ACOGs, but we are going to see a vigil on the board this time.
Coming from the attacking side, again, Sinister. Sipping on OJ special coming out, the Fuse Shield, and Detox knows exactly what is in front of him. Love the reveal phase. Gives us a little more drama. Detox swapping off on the 6. What's he going to run to? I guess he could go for a Capcan. Ella? He's going to go for a Valkyrie. I thought they'd go more Trap, thinking that Fink is going to be overcharging them, and then Sipping on OJ is going to be pushing through. the Lion's going to leave them dead to rights. I thought maybe they'd bring something to just slow them down, as we have seen the Capcan work pretty effectively against Sippin' on OJ previously, when the Sippin' on OJ special has arrived and graced us with its presence. I think the Thermite ban for the top take has also been back and forth. I think Sinister are having a lot of trouble with trying to execute this master take. Even though they tried, I haven't really seen them try to go for too many tower takes throughout their games on Oregon. I think that that tower take they tried to replicate that Armada brought out so wonderfully fell apart rather quickly, as they didn't have their bases covered. They didn't even remotely try to clear out kitchen. They sent the blitz and solo into dining and then just backed him out. And he got crossfired and then shot from the ceiling and inside of dining. Or inside of kitchen, sorry. And then that was it. That was all their kitchen clear. You still had 2 ACOGs sitting inside of Showers Hall and then dining to run out on them and clean the frags they did. I think not having this Thermite is slowing them down on this master take.
So I'm curious to see the fuse going towards master side. Normally a fuse indicates a kid's dorm push, but it is fuse shield, so the jury's not out on what fuse shield is going to be doing. Sipping on OJ, very unpredictable when he's on that. With that PMM, a great pistol. Flock getting the run out onto Rudy, most likely aided by that Valkim on that yellow bus outside.
So that's one way to do it. You don't have to worry about the line holding you in place any longer. No phone call. There's no EODs being sent out. You still have RTC for the phone calls. Anthony going to give away his Echo drone. I don't know the dispatches of that. So he's only got 1 left. But Jay's still playing. Dresser on the long angle down hallway. Has the shield to contend with him sipping on OJ, but an easy rotate back. The Maestro Vansley will hold him at bay, as well as you have 3 attackers stacked master currently. As generator wall from closet has been opened up, there's not a lot of progress and not a lot of entries for any of these attackers to work with. There's no soft destruction left, unless you want to use the Hibana charges too. Only 1 set of pellets left, 2 drones being taken out, as well as Sinister. They don't really have anywhere to go currently. Got a mirror top white reinforced to worry about, and the Dresser hasn't been blown out. Interesting, the Finka charge coming out to overheal everyone. Smoke on the board is going to keep them alive a little bit longer than usual. Aviation looks like he might want to go for the hop first, or at least use his X-Kairos charges to get rid of this top white mirror. Smoke grenades coming out from Sippin' on OJ as he starts pushing in. He makes it in to the front of Generator Hall. The Hibana of Aviation coming in as well. Ping's coming out through the smokes, though. Wild sprays back and forth. None of the bullets landing. Ainsley could be using his Maestro. The plant will not get down as Anthony will finish off Aviation, trying to stick that in the smoke. Sippin' on OJ with the PMM drops Jay. A flank coming from below, but Smurfing dispatches of that. And now Sippin' on OJ grabs another one. The fuse shield on fire. It's all to Detox on the Valkyrie, who was playing below. His flank is covered. He's looking directly above. The plant's going down inside of dorms. Diffuser is lost. Launches the Nitro wildly into Generator. Not going to land as he almost lands it on his own head. But a masterful self-frag. Another Finka charge coming out. A Sippin' on OJ most certainly is going to finish off Detox here. He's down to less than half HP. Pushing up wildly. Sippin' on OJ, I believe 3 or 4 on the round for him. And the Fuse Shield Special still doing wonders for him. Sinister, hold on to fight another round.
That looked like a total toss-up for a minute there, but good job on Sinister to be able to carry that out and get that plant done after the first failed attempt. Sippin' on OJ with 9 kills and Jay with 11. Jay was playing Montaigne those first 3 rounds too. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of close rounds. Definitely a really good match to watch. But Sinister still down 2. They're going to have to bring it back 2 rounds if they want to take it to overtime. Oh, we got the Sippin' special still, Flynn.
Sippin' on OJ special, making a 2nd round back-to-back as the defense still coming. Dorms Generator top side. For Armada to try and close this out once again, as the you have a lot of opportunity here to dispatch of the Finka charge itself, which really does. That's what's empowering Sippin' on OJ. That's what's giving him his power and giving him his ability to frag out, is that quick ADS time and the massive damage on the PMM. You have an Echo drone, the blast will take it away. You have the Legion Mine, which will take it away as well. You have opportunities here. Detox, it's a stick, man. I know you can't get a frag right now, but that's not going to help. We move on.
5 seconds to insertion.
Kids mirror. Again, crouch height, looking in towards the entryway of a bomb. Flock going back downstairs in the roam.
Locate a bomb and defuse.
You have a lot of opportunity here if you're Armada to get rid of that Finca charge before you even have to deal with sipping on OJ. There's a lot of opportunity here to stop the runaway train in its tracks. Yet they aren't utilizing it as well. I didn't see much of the Maestros being used. I believe it was Ainsley last time around on the Maestro. The Evil Eye's not being used to look through the smoke as everyone started rushing in. But the Valk cams instead also being used for the pings to come out to wildly spray in.
I do like these Maestro cams, but I'm curious to see if we'll actually be able to use them when the time comes, since he is downstairs. So I expect Sinister to try and take out that bottom hold immediately. So we have a Legion and a Maestro downstairs. Sip and OJ already in that bathroom hallway looking to take out the Legion, but Legion mines are a thing. They do take care of that Finca like the Echo Drone does. They have a crossfire protecting the Legion. Phone call is going to come out.
Flashbang's being sent in, but the crossfire from the LMG, but Flock will get downed and finished off by Rudy. The Finca charge helping him out in that engagement. Smurfing gonna knife down Ainsley. It's the bottom roam game completely dispatched of rather efficiently. No one really losing Smurfing down to about 35, 40 HP. They have the Finca. They can boost anyone they want back up. Another 20 HP, give them the better ADS time, no recoil, slightly faster reload and slightly faster movement through the barbed wire that Sippin' on OJ is currently trying to get rid of. The top white mirror gonna be his only deterrent from constantly knifing that. Drone's being dispatched by Anthony. He's still trying to actively play this mirror. Flashbangs come flying through the generator. Breach hole and Anthony blind. The EOD coming out now to hold everyone in place as the smoke canisters come out as well. As soon as the call comes out that they're starting to push in, Jay's going to need to launch that nitro, either deep generator where the plant is, or hallway to grab the two players coming down. Sippin' on OJ not pushing up just yet. There goes the nitro. It goes hallway. It down Sippin' on OJ. Won't finish him off as he turns around and uses the turtle of the shield. Rudy takes down Detox. Jay going to trade it out on Sippin' on OJ, who was downed in the main hallway. Still have the top white mirror now ejected. More flashbangs come flying in, or smoke grenades coming out to cover up, but Anthony spraying through the smoke will drop the diffuser. Jay as well ties up man count. Rudy falls, now spraying wild through the smoke, able to drop Smurfin. He's downed him. It's just RTC left as his Finca charge wears out, but he's sticking the plant in the smoke. In generator, Jay will finish off Smurfin. RTC able to finish off Jay. Now sprays back and forth through the wall, pre-fires around the corner, and he's unable to get the kill. RTC surviving. Just barely. The pre-fires on both sides, and RTC with the DMR able to hold out and extend us to the last round of regulation.
Dokubi must have been very close to death there. That was a very close round like we've been seeing for the rest of these. But Jay with 14 kills now. And Sippin didn't do as much that round. The Echo Drone and just those blind fires to the smoke and that beautiful C4 toss from Jay was able to take him out. Same lineups from both teams, but they're going to be defending the same site, so it's more or less of the same that we've seen the past two rounds. Let's see if Armada can turn it around and pull it into a W, or if Sinister is going to actually be able to pull us into overtime here.
I'm really surprised that Armada have not elected to head back downstairs. They have the option. They're running their heads against a wall here, as I feel like they've come very close on this site. Yet they now have the option to head downstairs, and they're simply ignoring it. And that was a site that they won very handily. So I don't really see why Armada are just constantly running this. They had it match point 5v2. We've now dropped 2 consecutive rounds to push this 1 round away to overtime. You had a very convincing win downstairs. You've had 2 very close, but losses nonetheless. Upstairs. Maybe head back downstairs. Same operators coming out. Like you pointed out, not really making too much of a difference though, and you know, the Legion mines are getting in place at least to stop the pushing down the site, but oh, Smurfin bringing out the holographic.
That is ugly.
That is
Oh, man.
the Russian holographic for you.
Don't see that very often. Valcam going out inside, as well as both Maestro cams. That's very curious, but we're going to see Smurf sipping on OJ inside that garage with that few shield special. Now, it doesn't seem like they're holding kitchen like they were last time. Instead, they're electing to go with that all upstairs hold, as they did the first time they defended Kid Storms. Drone's coming out, trying to see if there's any roamers, but there aren't any. So sipping on OJ is going to make his way up Armory stairs now, as Rudy makes his way into dining.
Yeah, last time the downstairs roam game from Armada, simply a failure. Unable to survive very long. Their crossfire is still being picked off because of that massive advantage you gain with the Finka boost, also having a shield pushing you in line with the Finka boosted rifle following not too far back. It's a hard position to be in, so instead they elect to go back to their 5 site, and I'm sure they have the hatch open with the ability to drop down again. Should Sinister try to implement their Windows take again, but it looks like Sinister have gone back to the master. Haven't seen anything too indicative of that tower take. They're blowing open the entire generator wall to push through. Still have sipping on OJ at 100 HP. Now going to get Finka boosted up. That's the first Finka boost with only 80 seconds left. She can almost Finka boost everyone for the entirety of the rest of the round. Sipping on OJ clearing the barbed wire once again. Not sure if he cleared out that Legion mine, but there's a double roam downstairs with 2 C4s. I think Flock and Jay are both going to pick a spot, hallway and generator, and launch both the C4s. Just launch them up. Oh no, but the Valkyrie of Flock is coming all the way up the stairs, and Smurfin's going to cover it, but Flock is able to make it all the way past and into Master, holding still on the EOD coming out. We'll get down and traded out by Smurfin, but Aviation has lost almost all of his health with the diffuser in hand. Jay still downstairs as his phone is ringing. Will finally answer the phone. Smurfin still covering the stairs once again. He let his teammate down there, and that was sipping on OJ. That's massive that the fuse shield has fallen. Flashbang's coming in. Armada with the health advantage. Jay gonna rotate back up white. Another Finka charge comes out as 30 seconds remain, and now the Echo charge is gonna displace that. Rudy gonna take down Detox with a Nitro from below from Jay. Rudy hops in the big window, eviscerated through the mattress. Anthony trades it back down to a 2v2. The overhealed Smurf and RTC with diffuser once again. We've seen him clutch once. Can he send us to OT? Trying to push in generators as the 2 defenders remaining are backed off deep. Smurfin takes a lot of damage, shoots his teammate in the back once, trying to rush in. Anthony just pre-firing everything with the LMG, stops at the wrong moment. But Anthony takes the corner on the rotate, pushes big window, bearing 9, drops Smurfin. Armada able to withstand the Sinister pushback and take map number 1 on Oregon 6-4. So once again, maybe not so convincingly as Motivate did, but the favorite in the first map of both of our matchups have dropped. The map 15 and 10 for Jay and Anthony. Sinister gonna have to find new footing on border if they want to extend this and keep their undefeated streak alive. With that being said, our next map will be border between Armada and Sinister. So they take map number 1. We will see you on the other side of a break. Stick with us.
Hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that. Ain't gotta say a word, I know what's up. You can have it all, watch me rip it off. I'll admit it, you got me feeling hella loved. Even when it's going down, know that we gon' live it up. Young shot caller, always been a baller. Know that you the one, I can feel it in my heart. Yeah, I won't stop charging, we going come harder. I can see you and I, way beyond the stars, girl. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CCS Season 3 for North America, week number 9. My name is Flynn, and I am now joined by Talon, star player from earlier this evening between our games of Motivate and DG Academy. We stand now to 1-0 scoreline, Armada taking Oregon map number 1 by a score of 6-4 to send us to border with, again, the favorite in the game, dropping the first map. Talon, how you doing?
I'm, coming off of a win. I'm feeling good. For the first time, we're actually able to pull some W's out, and that feels good.
Looked very good, and we're seeing a similar story here. Sinister, undefeated. Well, granted, it's only one map, and we've seen this before from Sinister. When they send it 3 maps, they're still able to close it out. We also saw them going up against Powerhouse go another 10 rounds deep into overtime, and still pull out the win in the clutch after it looked like it was all lost and going to be sent to map number 3. So Sinister back against the wall here on border, but I think they definitely have what it takes to push this to a map number 3, which would be Bank, where I think we can both agree that I think Sinister is a little more favored on Bank compared to Armada. I think that roam game of Armada is going to get shut down a little bit heavier by Sinister's roam clear.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I didn't get to see too much of the first game. However, I'm going to say that Oregon is kind of like a hit or miss with a lot of teams. It's basically considered the upset map. Whenever one team is usually really, really heavily favored and it goes to an Oregon's going to be the map that's going to go to the other team. Just the way it is. I don't know. It's hard to really kind of put your finger on it. But if there's a map that Armada was going to be able to win, I think it was definitely going to be Oregon. Now going into border, I'm not really sure. We're gonna kind of get a feel for it in the first 2 rounds. However, I'm gonna still say Sinister should still be favored here. And then, like you said on Bank, I'll agree with you there. Sinister should have the advantage just because of the way that Bank has played. A lot of the aids, can really come out. However, as of late, we've kind of seen Sinister not do too much. Last time I casted Sinister last week or the week before, they did bring out the aids, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't super strong, really. So we'll see if it does come to Bank, but for now, we're going to go and get into border.
Border coming out for the second time this evening. We saw it in your matchup, in which you guys took that very convincingly, 6-1 over DG Academy. So I don't think that a similar scoreline is going to come out between these two teams on border. I think it's going to be a little bit closer, the way we saw Oregon kind of go back and forth there a little bit as Sinister started to make a comeback, but I'm very curious. Like Glasban coming out, pretty common, nothing surprised.
Oh,
Thermite. Thermite. All right, so we're seeing this more and more on border. It's always such a crucial operator that just it's never like Glass Lion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hit or miss because the reason why I say that is because obviously you have Habana. As you guys saw in our match, like we basically used Habana every single time. I think there was one round where we brought a Thermite, but they went to a different site that we weren't really expecting. So it was just like, okay, like the Thermite's good, but that doesn't tell me like what Armada like has in mind. If it was a map like Club, you know, and the Thermite gets banned, which actually did happen, you know, that tells me, okay, they're not really going to go for like a super heavy like garage, or maybe they're going to need to play like a downstairs really heavy, because obviously both hard breachers are pretty important on Clubhouse. And being able to open up, you know, dirt as well as the extra hatch plus all the Habanas, or even potentially church, like that banning of the Thermite immediately cuts out tons of takes that they could possibly do. However, on a map like Border, I can't really say the same, because Habana can be easily swapped out in this case.
And that's exactly what we see coming, as we don't have a Thermite available to Armada as they start the first half on attack once again. And we saw them kind of put their foot down in the beginning of the first half for their attacks. They lose the last round of their attacking rounds in a rather flurry of trades back and forth, but I think they want to continue that initial run they started on Oregon here on Border as well. They want to get the ball rolling early, as having that lead really gave them the safety net to fall back on later into Oregon as Sinister started to make their comeback. And to be honest, it was about 3 seconds away from heading to overtime, which I'm thankful it didn't, because I didn't want to see more unlimited overtime. I was a big proponent of it in the beginning. I was like, yeah, unlimited OT, it's great. Wow, is it exhausting when it happens every time.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And let me tell you, like, from a player's perspective, you know, we definitely appreciate, you know, the ability to, you know, okay, listen, we're going to go into infinite OT. You know, the coin flip doesn't really matter, but let me tell you, as a caster, it is really brutal. And I think it's just going to be, it's going to probably turn out to just be one of those sacrifices things we just kind of have to get used to. But regardless, yeah, I can definitely relate with both sides here. Unlike in Tarot, you know, a little bit of a jab there. Anyway, we're getting into this round. First setup for the defense on Sinister looks fairly standard, except for, was that a Maestro just got placed downstairs? I'm not sure exactly what the plan is for that. Maybe they've got some holes in the floor of archives so that the Maestro can look up. Yeah, it's right above the northeast corner there. That has to be something to be able to look up to deny the plant. There's no holes there yet, but
they have to put the
weird. Okay, maybe it's a plant for behind the B bomb. Like that's a really weird angle. I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Can it see all the way up hatch? I can't. Yeah. I don't know if it can get all the way up through the hatch. I think it's too high.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like it might be just a little bit too high to be able to see that. I really hope we were able to be able to catch a glimpse as to what exactly is going on there. But regardless, this Jay on the Montang, I heard that was a common theme last map.
Yeah, he started out on the Montaigne, and then started swapping out to a couple other flex operators throughout, as the shield started out heavy for Armada and then kind of dialed back a little bit later on. And continuing the trend, at least bring in one shield, but no Finka, no fuse shield. We're staying a little more standard here. Oh, we just got like one frame of the Maestro as the Dokubi came out. We can go back and pause that for us if we never get to see it again. Disoriented and picking up the phone call inside of Fountain. The Habana charges into a banded wall in the smoke canister. Look at that, no smoke ban. And it's going to repel the shield play. Rudy playing well inside of Fountain. The smoke canister of the Montaigne is going to be caught by the ADS. A second Toxic Babe launched in behind the radio or desk. RTC also playing inside of Fountain. They're doubling up, and Ainsley just sitting still. And there goes your breach off the board. Diffuser down on the office ballot.
This is definitely not looking good. Out of all the 5 players that could have been picked, oh no, unfortunate for Anthony. What is happening? Smurfing drops down to Anthony. That is really unfortunate. This is not Armada's round, I gotta say. Yeah, looking at that other Maestro downstairs, definitely looks like it's just there to try and deny that Sophia from under. Smurfin's gonna find another kill. That's gonna be the Dokubi this time. And it's gonna be up to the Monting and Thatcher, and it is just not looking good. Even though the Monty's able to kind of pull off a couple of bullets, really just poke damage at this point. No hard breach, really no way to entry in through. But however, 2-3 kills come out of nowhere. Detox finds 2, Jay finds another. Meanwhile, the Monty goes down. So it's effectively a 2-on-1, 2-on-1.5. if Detox can go and get this shield up. If he can get Jay up, I honestly think they have a really good chance. And there he goes. They're both going to be coming through the door. They both know that they're coming there. So there should be a good crossfire for Sinister. But I'm not sure exactly how they have it set up. It's going to be tough. The shield's going to go and hop right into Mini. Are they hiding? Aviation's going to find one, but no, Detox brings it down to a one-on-one. Detox versus Aviation. He's trying to find him. They're playing a footsie game here. Aviation's going to miss a little bit. Goes for the reload, but no, Detox is able to actually clutch it out. Was that a 4 or an ace? What?
That was 4 from Detox.
That was 4. And then Jay was able to clean it up with the 5th there. That's not supposed to happen. They had such a good start. Sinister, what happened?
The Thatcher and the Montaigne just pulled off a 2v5 in the span of 35, 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy. I gotta pin it on those guys that died early. I mean, the Thatcher should not be winning against a mirror and Fountain. Like, that should never happen. Like, just play passive. I don't know how Smurfin died, but I must have been just getting way too aggressive. I mean, you had below control with Smurfin. I'm at a loss for words here.
Well, I talked about throw of the century last game. I don't think we're there yet, but wow. Wow.
Yeah, definitely speechless there. Like I said, whoever, it was the smoke playing inside of Fountain. I guess it was RTC playing inside of Fountain, man. You got a mirror. He must have been, he got way too aggressive on that. And Detox, I mean, good on Detox, able to hit the shots. They gave him an opening and they were able to take it. Knowing that they downed the shield, maybe they didn't know the shield was down. Okay, fair play. But there was just no crossfire setup whatsoever. I mean, we saw the Maestro just hiding behind that shield there. And I would have much rather him just held up like a more active angle, as well as having Aviation on mirror holding the active angle as well. They can't peek both of you at the same time. One of them is a shield. So if he comes peeking around the corner, like that should be an easy pick for you. But, man, that is just so unfortunate. Rudy's trying to get up on the angle. Trying to get this Maestro. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're playing this for. Yeah, that is definitely way too high to be able to look up right up at the ceiling. I'm not sure about the hatch though. Maybe it's just a pixel. Wow, I am stunned. I am absolutely stunned. Sinister going into the second round here. Looks like they're getting a very, very similar setup here. Late reinforcements in Fountain, but it's the exact same situation. And so now Armada should have the reads. They're no longer bringing the Monty. Detox is, instead of the Thatcher, they're going for a Ying as well as the Blackbeard. So this is obviously a much more aggressive lineup, I'd say, especially with the three speeds.
Absolutely. You have soft breach from Jay. And technically Flock if you want to use the frag grenades, and it looks like he's going to be launching it right at the wooden barricade. Oh, he had a slight angle through the wooden barricade to launch the grenade through. Lands just inside and takes down the bandit charges off of the armory wall. Drones coming in, being repelled back and forth, and now the ash charge from below as well. Going to be opening up underneath to prevent any more bandit tricking from being done. Sipping on OJ burns about a minute, but the Hibana charge is coming out onto the A wall as Armada completely change up their attack, and justly so after being in a 2v5 midway through the round last time on their attack. Sinister had them shut down and lost every advantage they held. 4 stacked outside the CC windows. Detox fills in over by the brick door. Everyone piling up to go for this A-wall take on behalf of Armada. A little bit of damage dealt out to Jay from Aviation from inside the small office mirror. Anthony going to repel back down to the ground. It looks like he's going to be going locker sandwich window, a strategy we saw earlier from your game, Tal.
Yes, indeed. I'm a little bit worried here for Sinister. They've given up so much control, and it's really just all up to Armada. They have free reign to do whatever they want. They're opening up this mirror now, even though there was a bandit, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. Anthony is going to find one. He finds 2 from that sandwich window. That is just so powerful. The rest of Armada is going to flood into the site. RTC finds 1. Smurfin is going to equalize it out. It's now a 3-on-3. Armada, Sinister, but sipping on OJ with a nice timely flank. He's going to find 2. It's going to be all up to Anthony. He was on rappel. He's going to be swinging in. I really don't expect him to be able to pull it off, but he finds 1 with the dig. Going to be able to try to find 2, but OJ is going to clean it up with a 3K for himself. That's a little bit better. I got to say, a little bit of a delay there from Armada. They could have gone a lot faster, and they paid the price for it, taking too long.
And left the flank wide open. Everyone starts dropping to the floor simultaneously as Sippin' on OJ devastates them from behind. And it was, I believe, Anthony on the Blackbeard starting things off with a quick double kill from locker sandwich window, and then it all falls apart. Everyone else pushing in can't win the gun battles on the anchors flooding back into sight. So Armada, once again, having trouble really just winning their gunfights, it comes down to. Early on in the first round on border, they lost heavy-handedly. You saw a Hibana get dumbfounded by a smoke hiding behind the mirror, just sitting still for 15, 20 seconds, holding the same angle, waiting for a peek when you know the pre-fire is coming. And then the entire script flips and Sinister lose their gunfights. This time around, Armada, simple mental mistake, not watching the flank. No flank drone, I guess, or just no body to watch it. You had the 5v3 advantage. You start to push into sight and everyone gets caught up on the plant.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it really does come down to that no flank drone. You absolutely cannot let that happen. And it would have been Armada's round 100% if they had some sort of flank drone or someone watching the flank. They had the numbers to do it as well. They had, I believe, a man advantage, especially after the Blackbird got those kills. So there's absolutely no excuse why you can't pull something like that off. And another thing, honestly, Sinister, I was really worried for them. Like I was saying, they gave no contention at all. The Bandit couldn't hold down the box wall. There was, okay, sure, there was a little bit of control downstairs, but we didn't really see Armada go for downstairs. You know, they were really, really heavily into security. You know, obviously there's no pulse, but, you know, hey, bring a Valk, you know, C4 up into security now that you know what they're going to do. However, it can be, there's two sides to every coin, right? Because Armada, the previous round, went towards office, so maybe they weren't really expecting that. However, they got very lucky, in my opinion, that they were able to get some kills. Now, speaking about this round, the Finca. This is obviously going to be a fast push. As the first Finca is called, we're going to be seeing Jay on the Monty using that quick ADS to really kind of abuse these people, especially the guy inside of Bathroom. A little bit of exchanging coming out of Rudy there to help out his buddy. It's going to find Jay down. Armada not looking good, even though Flock is able to come in and clean up Bathroom. Going to immediately give up Bathroom control as well. A little bit of over peaking, I would say, from Armada as they fall down. Sipping on OJ, however, is going to clear things up with 2 kills of his own. Detox goes down. Going to be a 2-on-2. Rudy, sneaky. Is he going to be able to find the head? No, he gives away his position. Oh, this is so unfortunate for him. Will he be able to escape under the skies of his own gas? Looks like he's trying to escape. Do they realize exactly what's going on? Flock is going to go and enter. Yes, he is going to punish that. That is a nice try, buddy, but unfortunately not able to do it. So once again, it is on the shoulders of Sipping on OJ, but he's got a mirror facing him. They both know where he is. One of them is going to be able to plant. One of them is going to be able to cover. This should be an easy round if you're Armada. Sipping on OJ has an absolutely monumental task ahead of him. He does find one onto Flock. The plant does go down. It's going to be just working the angles. Oh, so many bullets. Sophia is so low. She's like down to 1 or 2 HP. This is absolutely crazy. If Sipping on OJ actually takes this, he is going to be insane. How do they keep letting this happen?
Sipping on OJ with another 4K.
Like what?
Yikes. Armada.
They knew where he was.
Yikes.
Oh my goodness. Sinister. Getting carried. That's the only way I can put it, man. I still want an OJ, man. Good job, man. You that should not happen. Armada, go sit in a corner with the plant. Make sure you're in a safe spot. Have one guy watch one angle. Don't go wide peeking. The Ash wide peeked the Bathroom angle. I guess he just forgot about Bathroom. Like that can't happen, man. Fuck, dude. You know he's coming from that direction. He's either gonna come in through the workshop paint door or he's gonna go in through Bathroom. Pick one way to help. I mean, they should have drones. I don't think they did have drones just because Armada pushed really quickly. But yeah, let me tell you, man, Sinister, they're getting by, but it's off the mistakes of Armada, I'm gonna say.
Absolutely, and you're right on the money with the call that they didn't have the drones in place because they started getting so aggressive so quickly towards site. You know, you didn't let the rest of the round develop. You didn't let the rest of your utility get out there. You had, I think, 4 or 5 people dead by the minute mark into the round on either side, but at that point, like, there's so much utility loss, it's just not being used. That is a really unfortunate, once again, oversight by Armada to allow Sipping on OJ to, first off, get the flank topside onto attackers holding top east. That probably shouldn't happen. If you're holding top east, you have the advantage with an assault rifle against a submachine gun. You're holding the angle and he's taking the corner, sprinting over.
Yeah.
There are two of you there as well. That's kind of not good that you're losing that engagement. And then downstairs, you allow him to come in and take both of you. Just mistake after mistake from Armada, and realistically, this should be 3-0 Sinister.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, one thing to mention about that East, there should be zero reason that you have two people sitting on East stairs when you're doing a first floor only like quick push like that. Just put a lion, sit the lion on East stairs, or whoever you want to have a global ability, a Dokkaebi or anything. Just sit him on East stairs. Let him deal with this hallway. Let him just. There should only be one person. Is the point there? There's no way that he should win that. Like him pushing up that hallway. Absolutely no excuse. That's just, you know, if I sound stern, you know, it's because I should be, because this should not be happening. You know, Armada should know better than to let something like that happen. I mean, if you're having issues, set a drone in that hallway, sit on that drone, be like, oh, hey, look, a bandit's running up long hall. Hey, let me go and peek him, and you have then you have peeker's advantage on top of having the assault rifle gun, and he's running down the stairs, like running down the hallway. Like what do you honestly expect to happen? I like this play here from Armada though, running this IQ below, and the drone is going to be able to see sipping on OJ, so they now know that he's there. However, Jay, you don't need to be solo pushing this, man. Smurvin's gonna drop down, so that is just absolutely a misplay here from Armada. Like, Jay, there's absolutely no reason for you to be solo pushing that with no assistance.
They had the drone on him. They had him going into detention, stuck, and they fall. Aviation gonna claim another victim as Anthony trying to solo push as well. The Mira in sight, gunning people down across the map as they try to solo into sight is not what you want to see. Rudy cutting everyone down, trying to come metal detector. It's down to a 2v5. Ainsley down to about 20 HP, trying to battle out of a phone booth inside the break room door between a double crossfire from metal, top east, and the office doorway. It's not a good position for Ainsley to be in, as he has no support from Detox, who's also downstairs, I guess, trying to clear out the roam that has already gone upstairs to pressure Ainsley, who also has diffuser in hand. The EOD going to keep the defenders in place. Ainsley gets down from long range and now peeking up the top of West Stairs. The last attacker left standing, pushing in and unable to hit a single shot onto the Maestro. Rudy will finally finish off Ainsley. Actually, he was the one who downed Ainsley. RTC with the SMG-11 will claim Detox as he turned the corner and sprayed down metal detector. Armada, once again, disjointed, solo push. This is not the team we just saw on Oregon, sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely big misplays there. Like, Jay, that's a very ranked mentality play. I'm just going to, go and throw it out there. Jay, man, you can't be going down solo. Like, you had him on a drone. If you absolutely really want to do it like that, that's fine, but you need to get the lion out there. You call the lion. Like, okay, listen, you saw a bandit run into detention. Okay, fine. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go anywhere. All you got to do, if Jay really wanted to go in there, is just sit underneath basically by front door, hold an angle onto his escape, call everyone down, or at least someone else to go down, start spamming from detention, start getting open the supply window, lion him, and then if you really want to, lion Dokkaebi, and then use your IQ scanner to shoot his phone. Like, what? It's just solo pushing like that. After he droned it, he's like, okay, I see a bandit down there. I'm going to go in, and then I'm not even going to go looking at him. I'm going to go looking at metal. That is just so absolutely questionable. You need to be working as a team and not as an individual, and that's what we've been kind of seeing from Armada here this entire time. They're just working as individuals. Another case, that lion going downstairs when it was it was like a 2-on-4, 2-on-5. I didn't expect him to win it. However, the lion going downstairs, instead of going and helping his buddy, honestly, just it's kind of baffling to me. It's like, regroup somewhere. You guys are obviously separated. You have Habana inside of break room. You have Lion on top metal, but then he goes back downstairs. Like, find something and then work at it together. Sinister is literally doing nothing special. Absolutely nothing special. Yeah, sure, they are dropping down, but you don't need to be, doing anything underneath control. They've had no problem opening up the box wall. Therefore, you have no reason to be going downstairs. And if you have no reason to be going downstairs, then just work as a team and just go and do a box push. You don't need to do anything special because, honestly, Sinister is just chilling. Like, they're just chilling. They don't have to pull out any crazy, wacky, like, angles that are just going to, blast you from, miles away. No, it's pretty simple stuff.
So, Sinister on their last round of the defensive half for Border, as they're in a wonderful position currently and can extend it even further. to force us to a map number 3 of Bank, which will be a fascinating demonstration of roam games and roam clear. Talked about it before we started this map. The roam clear from Armada, A, non-existent, and B, completely dysfunctional, if it is ever present. If it's going to be the same on Bank, this is going to be Sinister in 3 maps.
Yeah. I would definitely have to agree. A minute in, and they're just now getting into box. I gotta say, the timing isn't too bad. They are able to find Smurfin. That's gonna kind of send a message to Sippin that he should probably get out of there. He's gonna go and just hold an angle over inside of office. That's good. I actually kind of like that. He's not giving up all of control of upstairs, but he's still hiding in a spot where they have to drone out. Question is Armada droning out? I'm not really seeing too many drones coming out, but they do have the Buck. So now that they have control of Armory, Buck needs to start getting to work. They need to start finding a plan and calculating a plan to actually go for a plant. We've got 5 people are all up on the 2nd floor. They need to start working on the site. We've got Flock is going to just be holding the flanks. That's fine. Buck is being very timid right now. He's not really starting anything crazy. So that's going to allow Sippin to kind of creep on back up. No one is watching this. No one is watching this. If Sippin is actually able to find so many picks. Oh, this is absolutely so close. But Jay is actually able to, to pick him off. Sippin and OJ just needed to hang on there just a little bit. So a minute remaining. Armada has a 2-man advantage. This could be what they needed. So now that they've kind of found him, their worries of getting flank have been alleviated. It's going to be Anthony as well. Is going to be starting things off. This is looking like an Armada round as Flock starts off. It's now all up to RTC. He's going to be going up metal, and Jay is going to clean it up. Gotta say, that looked much better than what we saw in the previous rounds.
Yeah, we give them so much crap for the roam clear for the last few rounds, and then that time they almost botched it, letting Sippin on OJ come back. And thankfully, the Thatcher of J just has that sixth sense that, hey, we've been flanked by this guy twice. Let's just pre-aim archives, just in case. Yeah, and he comes away successful. The hesitation there from Sippin on OJ, I understand. You don't want to miss the shot at him crossing behind the lockers or crossing behind a half wall and completely give away your position. Unfortunately, just a little slow to the trigger as Jay peeked him.
Yeah, that is definitely unfortunate there. I was really worried. Like, they had, at one point, there's 3 people up there. None of them were watching any sort of flank from top metal or from archives. I was like, oh no, this isn't happening again, is it? This is not good. This is not good. But they were able to get the pick there, so that really saved them. That was, I gotta say, that is definitely the kill of the round there, if there had to be one. Now, looking at this lineup from Sinister, we have a Blitz, a Finka, and a Fuse. I'm wondering, is that a shield on Fuse? It probably is. It probably is. Let's be honest. I wasn't able to really find it, but I'm worried. I'm actually kind of worried for Armada here. The only thing that's lacking is, that is a shield on Fuse. So they've got double shield plus the Finka. This is going to be interesting to see how well this plays out. 1 hard breacher, okay, cool, but they don't have really any way to get like any sort of batteries or mute jammers off. But there are none actually for Armada. This is peculiar to me. Like, why wouldn't you have a bandit? Why wouldn't you have a mute? Like, at the very least, like, you're just giving RTC free reign to just open up whatever wall he wants. On top of the fact that they have shields, I don't know about this. We'll see what they have in store. Maybe Sinister's got a super plan, or excuse me, maybe Armada has a plan for defense, but sorry, man, an Echo isn't, or Yokai drone isn't going to do much against 2 rushing shields that are Finka.
Yeah, you're only going to be able to get 1 at a time, and you're going to have to wait for that little animation in between both of the Echo drone blasts. And if you're sitting on your drone while a Finka shield is rushing you, you're going to be in for a bad time. The trip wall in office broken up a little bit, but no mirror on the fountain wall, instead inside archives and one side small office. So Armada with the mirror placement a little more reserved. The Echo drone also looking to stall out the Finka shield push, but it's a full office assault coming out from Sinister to start things off.
This is okay. Hold on a second. Well, look at this positioning here from Armada. Why is Echo inside of fountain? Like, what? Your Cogger is playing in the close range. That's scary to me. Like, they need the smoke over there ASAP. Absolutely ASAP. Okay, sure, like, Ainsley's got his drones to be able to cover himself, but what is he going to do when a shield comes in? He's got a suppressor. And, yeah, you do not want your Cogger sitting, especially sitting there. I mean, Jay has him on a mirror. That's fine. But they know that he's sitting there, and they know it's an Echo. That is absolutely a juicy pick. Here comes out the smokes, but it gets ADS. This is going to be interesting. Sipping on OJ is going to find one. Smurfin gets another, but Ainsley finds 3, or Anthony finds 2. Ainsley finds another. This is actually collapsing for Sinister, as they have Aviation. They have the cutoff now. 1 on top metal, and then they've got 1 on AC. That's going to be Smurfin. This is absolutely still doable. The one kink in their plan is going to be this Echo inside of Fountain. He has been spotted out. They can assume that the other 2 players are sitting there. The buck shotgun comes in. Aviation's able to clean that out. There is going to be a flank coming in from short haul. That's going to be Detox on the Jaegers, pushing in close. No info whatsoever, so that he's going to be able to clean up that kill. Have the Maestro sitting at curve. Smurfin's not able to hit that, and he cleans that up. I gotta say, what happened there for Sinister? Use your Habanas, clear out that Echo.
Yeah, the breach never really attempted. Everyone got sight sunshine when they got those first 2 picks. Everyone starts aggressing, and I mean, you're a couple shields with a Finka boost. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. Start pushing in through that back balcony door into Archives, and then a Maestro stands up and lasers you with 81 bullets from Metal Half. Yeah, you might want to apply a little more pressure there and make sure you're not being triple crossfired from inside Archives Fountain and Metal Half Wall. Again, just skipping some steps. We saw it from Armada. We've now seen it from Sinister on the attacks. It seems like everyone is very, very tunnel vision this evening on the attacking side in the second matchup. Everyone's really just trying to get that sight control. They're not worried about crossfires. They're not worried about setting up the rest of their infrastructure for the round. They're just kind of gunning for it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you honestly said it really well. They're either tunnel visioning, or they're just forgetting basic steps, like really basic things that they can be doing. They had the Echo called out inside of Fountain. Okay, fine. The sight push hadn't started yet. He could have been like, listen, there's no batteries on the wall. We know it's just an Echo inside of Fountain. Isolate him using Hibana charges, and then get a free pick on him. Don't let him sit there harassing you with those yokaites. You know, there's absolutely no reason for it. And then he was actually able to find a kill for himself as well. It's very worrying to me that Sinister is just so like, we need to get in the site. We need to go. We need to, you know, be 3-speeding it up and thinking it up. That's not the case. You know, I'd rather just see them take it slow, use the utility that they have on hand, and I think they're going to find a lot more success. But we see the trap operator Capkin coming out to try and counter any sort of shield push that they have. Sipping on OJ is still playing that fuse. However, they've decided to swap out the Blitz, I believe it was, for a Lion.
So bringing in 1 more rifle and 1 less shield to the party. And Jay going for a 6-pick swap to the Capcan, which I really like. Really like utilizing that 6-pick to the Capcan. It's done a pretty good job of slowing down these Finka shield pushes in the past. We've seen it a couple times on maps like Oregon and Consulate, where the Capcans can be hidden in a myriad of doorways. Same thing with your border. And hey, 40 HP at a time or 50 HP at a time. They're only at 120. You whittle it down over time. You gotta hit 3 to really finish them off, but place them in the right avenues, you funnel them into the right doorways, and you can get rid of this monster that Sippin' on OJ has been, at least on Oregon and in past games, the Finka Fuse Shield.
Yeah, I think that they have an idea that there's a Capcan, but you know, will they actually be able to spot it out? We're gonna have Buck is gonna be starting on radio, getting that bathroom control from above. Here comes in the shield. They're gonna start working on bunker. It's gonna be the vigil. He is now stuck in bunker thoroughly. However, they have the Echo to help him out. Detox finds 1, gets traded out by Smurfin. A C4 from Jay is going to clean up the shield as well. Rudy is able to trade on back. It is now a 3-on-3. The Fink is out of commission. They still have the Lion, so this is still very doable, as well as that Buck. So it's going to be important for Buck right now to get a kill. If Anthony is able to kill this Buck, I think that's going to be the round, regardless of what happens before. Jay is also trying to take a piece as well. Right now, Sinister, they need an opening that they don't have.
Got Ainsley on the backside as well inside of Customs, as RTC and Aviation try and rip up the floor a little bit more, displace these anchors, but it's not really playing to their advantage, as it's all about the peeking through the floorboards for Armada right now. Both Jay and Anthony were very aggressive looking through those floorboards and actually able to land a lot of damage onto Aviation. Rudy's going to go for the reset in the CC. Aviation's going to stick because he's at about 50. He only got 50 seconds left on the board. A 3v3, 3 full health defenders versus 2 half health attackers. A full health RTC who could be going in for the plant if they can clear out this backside of A. The frag grenades launching in to push back Jay even further as he goes back to the server desk. Pings coming out upstairs from possibly an Echo drone or a Valkyrie cam topside. The vault coming out to vent window as 2 outside. And laying down inside of ventilation is Anthony with a bearing 9. Jay gonna get finished off by Aviation. The EOD comes out, but this could be absolutely lethal from Anthony, hiding underneath the window. EOD runs out, it expires, 15 seconds on the board. Ainsley on the flank able to take down Aviations. They both try to come front door. Anthony able to take down RTC. It's just the Lion of Rudy trying to push front. 8 seconds left. Diffuser is lost inside of vent. The pre-fire coming around the corner, but it's Anthony winning out with the MP5 SD. And Armada with back-to-back rounds on the defense, taking the lead on border.
There you go. You know, that low HP did not help out that Lion whatsoever. Gotta say there, like I said, Sinister, they didn't have an opening, and they honestly, they had to play. You know, I feel like they could have had it, but they spent a lot of time droning the wrong things. I like that they had the Buck still upstairs. You know, leave the Buck upstairs, let him work from the hatches, and let him support a main push. Now, a main push can come from one of two directions at that point. You can either go through vents, or you can either drop and maybe even go through bathroom. The important thing is you need to pick one, and you need to start working on it way sooner than 20 seconds, because it was like maybe 20 seconds is when they actually started working on trying to get into vents, and by then they'd already used all their drones getting absolutely useless info. And that just really scares me, because like honestly I expect more from Sinister. I really do. I expect them to be like, okay, we got upstairs, you know, let's start clearing out all the anchor spots so that we can go for either, you know, sort of push. We didn't really see that, and it's kind of questioning, or I have the question, it's like, okay, should you guys even be going upstairs if you're just going to waste so much time doing not really all that much, to be honest? Sure, he got a kill, but he wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of breaching the floor either. You saw the Hibana actually utilizing the last set of X-Kairos to open up the floorboards, and I mean, where the hell else are you going to put them? Sure, but you think Aviation on the Buck would be able to rip up the floor enough that you wouldn't have to expend that and wait the time and just kind of sit there and burn time. Like you said, they weren't doing a whole lot. There wasn't a lot of the floor opened up. They were opening up small peek holes, and partly it was deterred by the fact that Armada kept putting their faces in the holes they were making and trying to shoot back up. And that's that aggression again. Armada are kind of turning the game on its heels right now, flipping the script and trying to send this home on a 2-0 and drop Sinister and hand them their first L.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good way to put it there. So need Sinister to really kind of start working more as a team. You know, I was talking about, you know, very individualistic plays from Armada on attack, but we're seeing a very similar story here from Sinister. You know, obviously I didn't get to really see, you know, what sort of themes we saw on Oregon. However, this is like, you know, history repeats itself, it seems, you know, for Sinister. You know, I don't know. I can't say that they should be relying on shields anymore. I think they just need to realize that, hey, it's obviously not really working. We need to just swap it up, because we're losing our gun battles. Like, a shield isn't going to help you with a gun battle if you're sitting in office, you know, doing long range fights. Yeah, sure, he can move up, but what is he going to do past that? He's just going to get crossfired. And I got to, you know, commend, you know, Armada for that. You know, they've set up very decent crossfires, you know, to be able to handle these sort of like shield pushes. This time we're actually seeing RTC on the Hibana. Oh, that's what's happening. There's a Maestro denying the Hibana charges, it seems.
Oh, it's set up over by Sandwich in office. So Aviation gonna get in below as an EOD goes out, ripping up the floor. Doesn't notice that there's a defender about an inch to the left, but he will pop the small office mirror. Now pushing out the stairs. There's one on top of the desk inside a small office that Smurfman was spraying at. 2 actually huddled up together inside the small office, and a frag grenade falling in to metal half wall, just gonna land on the opposite side. And that'll be the Maestro of Anthony staying alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, they're doing a much better job. Let's see though. There's that Maestro. That is a really cheeky spot, but Aviation's gonna find 2 from below. I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but that is exactly the opening that Sinister needed. So now we're going to see Sinister is just going to absolutely try and collapse on the site. Jay is going to be able to find one. He is using this mirror to great effect. However, Rudy's able to win that aim duel. Aviation finds another. It's going to be all up to Anthony to try and clutch out for his team in a 1v3. There we go. For Sinister to tie it up, Anthony has a massive job ahead of him. And I got to say, I'm not really sure how well he's going to be able to do it. He knows where one is. He knows that the Aviation was downstairs. So maybe he'll be able to deduce that there's someone sitting top metal. Nope, doesn't even think about it. As Aviation takes the head off of him, got to say, that was Aviation's round through and through.
Aviation on the Buck, grabbing both of those kills onto the 2 players hiding inside a small office, holding the metal rotate. very effectively. And I mean, it's clinical round from Sinister as the Mira trying to battle off that Archives Mira just whiffs on the Lion. Great pre-fire by Rudy, pushing in through Fountain. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really the Finka charge. It wasn't really the shield. It wasn't the EOD from Lion. Wasn't even breaching. It was just brute force and great positioning from everyone to cut off the rotate as soon as Aviation started causing havoc. And Aviation actually picks up his own kills when he's usually the one pushing someone else into an angle hold. But also Smurfing on AC did a wonderful job of lighting up a lot of bullets and just causing a lot of panic inside his sight. Armada drop another round, so we tie things up at 4-4. 2 rounds either way will send us either home or to map number 3 of Bank. If they split them, we're going into overtime on Border again.
So as we kind of saw for Sinister's defense, Sinister gave up a lot of ground. I mean, absolutely a lot of ground for Armada to just kind of take freely. And we're seeing the exact same thing here, you know, for Armada. You know, they're kind of giving up a bunch of ground. They're kind of giving up office. I mean, they're not really giving up office, but for a shield, it's pretty easy to just kind of walk in and just kind of play however you like. But besides that, guess what? They're giving up security. They're giving up all of the first 4. Like, it's almost like a turtle strat. But it's a turtle strat that doesn't really have a plan to stop a sort of plant or to stop anything from happening. Like, it's a turtle strat where they're just relying on basically just gunplay. You know, they're not really doing anything crazy like, hey, you know, let's drop a pulse down late, or, you know, let's get a Valk cam and, you know, do something special with it. They do have a Valk now. Flock is playing Valk. However, look at this. Like, Sinister gets to take security for free. Aviation gets to take first 4 for free. The only thing that they're not really like giving for free is office, but even then, they've got the mirror on Archives, not even on Fountain. So the guy in Fountain is just left for dead, basically, if Sinister decided to try and push them out.
Absolutely. Right now, it looks like the push is going to be coming for AWOL after they're so successful on technically an office push. I'd actually categorize that as just a workshop push, as Aviation was detrimental to the entire defensive setup for Armada, taking down the Echo and the Jaeger simultaneously, giving that man advantage. Trades come out, but they still have the massive man advantage in the end. And once again, Aviation, like you said, allowed to enter downstairs for free, claim all the free real estate he could ever want in the entire world. Instead, he's not bucking up through the floor just yet, but the EOD's coming out, and he's just going to rush in and take down Flock. That's the Valkyrie off the board. So, no Nitro from below. Only Nitro cell left on the board is in Jay's back pocket, and Anthony missed every shot onto Aviation when he was peeking prone behind the metal half wall.
Yeah, absolutely there. This is going to be really, really tough if you are Armada. Like I said, they're just giving up way too much ground. And all of Sinister's able to just, hey, let's just take what we want. Let's just start picking on these guys. You know, they're not doing anything on us. They're not trying to drop a hatch. They're not contesting us anywhere. I think that's going to be Anthony's going to be taken out by the shield as well. And this is just a really, really similar story that we saw last time. It's just going to be slowly working around the defenders. You know, nothing special I expect to happen. Smurf is going to find one. It's going to be up to Jay, but he's not going to be able to do anything either. And now we are now match point for Sinister. And yeah, like I said, it's all on Armada just not doing anything on defense. Like, they're just treating it like I guess it's, I don't know. They need to go more ranked is what I would say. You know, they need to really put themselves out there, actually contest something, do something other than just sit in a corner and let Aviation just run in from top metal, basically.
Question of the setup really has to come out there is, you have a lot of people stacked inside of Armory, but when an Armory take comes, you're all standing on the most common spots. And again, there's no downstairs pressure at all to stop Aviation from doing what he's doing. He walks up metal 30 seconds in and gets a kill and gets away for free, goes downstairs, kills another person on the mirror, comes back upstairs, walks through metal. No one's looking for it. It's hilarious from Armada that they look so strong in the beginning on their defenses, winning back-to-back rounds on both sites. And they did a wonderful job at applying pressure for Sinister, stopping them from getting into the building. And then once the pressure's on, once they look like they're on a roll, they all collapse upon themselves. They all shrivel up. They're not taking any map control whatsoever, and they're going back to Armory lockers again. And if there's no pressure, at least if there's no stopping Aviation getting in below for a third consecutive time, call it. We're going to bank.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from this setup here, looks like they're going to do the exact same thing. And honestly, I have no remorse, you know, if they absolutely just get wrecked here. And honestly, I want to see them get wrecked. Like, just punish them, honestly. Like, if they're just going to sit there scared in their boots, yeah, they're going to lose 100%. We have a flock on Ella. This tells me, okay, maybe, okay, yeah, so he's putting some barb down here. This tells me, okay, yeah, they do want to try and contest this. They do want to, you know, they realize now what is happening, and they should be able to fight it. You know, I don't think we're going to see Aviation go and solo push in there. So now it's going to be Sinister. They should have to send a couple, you know, men down there to try and do something. Jay's going to accompany Flock as well. I do like this. You know, get those Valcams and Yokais up inside of sight. C4 him from under. Shoot him from under. Do something other than just sit there. Aviation has already started his drone out from detention, so we'll likely see an entry there. Someone on OJ is going to enter in through passport. So Sinister knows, guess what? They're roaming downstairs. Let's punish this. They've got East Stairs control now. They've got all of customs basically, so we'll see exactly what's going to go down here. Aviation's going to be sitting inside a supply, and they're just going to slowly start working on these angles. Here comes a line. I fully expect the Fuse to just be pushing in on one of these roamers.
Only saving grace is the crossfire in the back of Workshop, but Rudy's coming in with the pre-fires from behind, but no, they don't have the ping on him. Jay able to take down Sippin' on OJ, and now peeking hallway. Smurfin will trade out Jay down to a 4v4, so it's just the yellow flock alone up against Rudy and Smurfin. First Finka charge expires, playing behind the server rack desk. In the back of Workshop, not a lot of support, but at least they have taken down the Fuse shield. Frag grenade's gonna come flying in, no ADSs, gonna land just short of Flock as the pings come out. He just escapes. Lit for 40, heading back underneath the server hatch. Our rush comes in, the Echo drone won't be enough to save him as Smurfin turns the corner gunning. Flock falls. That's the roam downstairs dispatched of in 80 seconds.
So you've now just traded 2 men for the life of the Fuse. Is that worth it? I'm going to say probably not. You know, the Fuse hasn't really been, you know, too monumental in this. The number one thing you really need to be looking for was that buck kill. I'm kind of honestly disappointed here from Armada. Yeah, even though they made the right call to try and, you know, put some pressure downstairs, the site, all the anchors in sight just sat around and did absolutely nothing to help their team. It was literally a 5-on-2 downstairs. There was no help at all from upstairs, and that is going to be the reason why they're going to lose this round, is because they're just going to let the roamers die. If you're not going to support your roamers who are right below you, then, you know, what good, you know, what are you going to expect to have happen? Our Aviation is going to start his little bucking. If I was the anchors, especially if you're Ainsley on that Jaeger, dude, go drop tellers. Go drop over somewhere. Do something other than just sit there and let them die. So it's going to put them onto a 4-on-3 in advantage of Sinister. And this should really just be, it's going to come down to the wire, because sure, the roamers did waste a little bit of time. However, they've still got all the utility in the world to work with.
Aviation going for the 3-peat with the bottom clear, going to try and displace these anchors sitting on site. You still have one behind metal half wall. Not sure how Aviation hasn't checked that yet. He's just missing. Couple feet, and now shots coming back down to the floor from Ainsley. One shot lands on the shoulder, but the time is expiring on the board for Sinister to push in. Aviation still wins through the Ella mine, now spraying down, able to down Detox. It's all up to Anthony Metal half wall. Aviation does them dirty, and we go to bed.
Yeah, definitely they had the right idea in mind. Absolutely no setup to help out the roamers, open up some holes in the floor, you know, start getting Ainsley on another, like a counter flank while the roamers are getting pushed out. Do something, absolutely anything after, you know, once your roamers, because your roamers are guaranteed, they're calling, hey, you know, they're over here, I'm getting marked from here, you know, they're popping a line, you know, this is what they're doing to us, like, please help us, do something. But that never happened. So Sinister's going to go ahead and take border 6-4, coming down to the wire. However, it really comes down to sipping on OJ's clutches early on in the match to really be able to seal that deal. So we are going to bet. Here, as the players are going to, you know, take a break, use the restroom. So we'll be right back.
back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go.
Now we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to map number 3, our final map of the evening for CCS Season 3 North America, and our second matchup between Armada and Sinister. So, Armada take map number 1 on Oregon by a scoreline of 6-4. They had the massive advantage 5-2. Sinister started storming back, but Armada were able to close it out. Once again, Armada have a lead, but they had to battle back for it. They were down 3-1 on border. Possibly could have been 4-0 if it hadn't been for a 2v5 by a Thatcher and a Montaigne in round number 1, I believe. But nonetheless, Sinister is still able to close out on border, take it by a scoreline of 6-4 themselves. So we trade back 10 rounds apiece, almost heading into overtime both times. We head to bank. Sinister is still sporting the undefeated record currently at 7-0. Armada at 5-3, looking to inch closer to the top of the leaderboards. My name is Flynn, and for this game and our last map of the evening, I'm joined by the wonderful Talon. How you doing, bud? What'd you think of Border?
I gotta say, I was not impressed by either of the teams. You know, it's very rare that I'll say that, but yeah, no, both teams definitely showing their weaknesses respectively, mainly on attack. However, we saw Armada there on defense just had no answers whatsoever. You know, just thinking, you know, reflecting there during the break, you know, honestly, Armada really should have just gone back downstairs. You know, that's the one site where, you know, Sinister obviously didn't really have an answer. You know, they had a general plan of what they wanted to do, but they didn't really like have it fully, you know, planned out or anything like that. It's like, yeah, I liked what they did towards the end there, you know, at least, you know, trying to do something. However, they really just needed an entire site change and a mentality change as well. I think that would have really, really helped them out. Going into bank, hopefully we don't see any, you know, similar situations. However, maybe once we get to defense, Armada, maybe their turtle strats will work. You know, bank is much more, at least the basement side is definitely better for turtling.
To locate and defuse bombs.
So interesting bands coming out. Glaz Finca. So a little less of the Sippin' on OJ special, as it's actually banned off the board by Armada this time. They're sick of it. They don't want to deal with it. Pulse as well once again. Bank, pretty strong Pulse map. Legion as well, as the shield play has been rather evident, especially from Sinister. So they're going to get that off the board. Heading top floor CEO for the first defense are Sinister, and Anthony probably made the luckiest read of the century at Blitz and swapped to the Blackbeard in 6-pick. I don't know if he somehow knew this composition was going to be CEO, but he's put himself in a great position just off the 6-pick alone to help his team win this first round.
Yeah, no, 9 times out of 10, if there's a castle involved, it's probably going to be somewhere upstairs. Like, yeah, sure, you can make a castle work downstairs in basement, but it's not really worth it, to be honest. You know, there's just so many other operators that can do so much better. So I do like the fact that, you know, he was able to swap off there and that they have the Blackbeard. The question is now, it's like, okay, how do you attack CEO? Okay, well, for them, if you're Armada, you just have to pick a direction and you need to go for it. There's 2 main directions. You can either go from the east and you can go from square, or you can take front lobby control and you can try to run up those front curved stairs. either way, they need to be working together. And we're going to be seeing Sinister. They're going to be opening up some of those holes above the CEO walls, and that is to try and deny any sort of Habanas or Thermites. They're going to use impacts, probably from Smurfin, to be able to just throw them over and just deny it. They need to be wary of that. They need to get that Blackbeard, and they need to be getting that north wall control. If they can get north wall control, then I think that they'll be able to find us. Here comes the impacts. Is it a little bit too high yet? No. So they did it correctly. They go really, really low. It's going to try again, but what happened? How did they lose those other...
An evil eye out there.
There's an evil eye. Oh, no. That has got to be the round for Sinister. They have absolutely no clue this is there. Smurfin's going to find a kill. Meanwhile, onto the Blackbeard of all people. They're forced to use a nade as well as getting some free damage on the detox. This is just comedic at this point. And you got to remember, they still have control of Janitor as well. Sipping on OJ is going to, continue the slaying here as he finds Flock. That's going to be the Jackal. So there's your smokes off the board. The smokes were honestly any hope that they had at all, coming back into this round. They have absolutely nothing here, and I fully expect Sinister to just clean off the rest of this round.
Aviation going for a jug to pick up his other evil eye, bring it back towards sight as the 3-man push top squares, trying to file in, at least get some more useful breach on the wall. They've opened up the floor on the left panel. That's about it. They still have a Thermite of Jay trying to open some stuff up. He's trying to get in. Pre-fire's just going to miss his ankles. They'll still be able to open up the left panel once again. So they weren't able to get the north wall control from the Blackbeards. He was picked off early. But yeah, with 48 seconds remaining, they will open up both sides of the top square wall from CEO. But they got 2 mirrors looking directly at any kind of entryway in. You still have 2 toxic babes left. You have 2 echo drones to deal with. You have another evil eye to deal with. You have a nitrocell on RTC. This looks awful for Armada to be able to push in unless Sinister throw their lives away on over-aggressive peaks. Sipping on OJ has the Echo Drone in perfect position. If anyone pops in, the Evil Eye in position as well, gonna zap and try and piss off anyone trying to push in through either of these breach holes. The frag grenade gonna come in and disable the last Evil Eye, but there's so much other plant deny. RTC just gonna use the Vector instead. Drops J. That's Diffuser down. Aviation gonna get down, but not finished off. Diffuser lost right beside the stock closet. Another one goes down. It's all up to Ainsley. All in the shotgun comes out. Rudy finish it off. He gets the down and the finish. Sinister win round number 1 on the defense top floor.
No, you got to join the site, and you got to figure out exactly, what is going to be going on. And, there for Sinister, their hard hold, and basically all their eggs were in Janitor. Like, Janitor was their one spot. If they lost Janitor, they were going to lose that round. Unfortunately, Armada wasn't really able to identify that. They didn't even pressure that castle. Like, that castle being still closed there at the end. That absolutely cannot happen. You need to get that open. And honestly, that would have been a really, really strong position if you say Habana that castle, get a Blackbeard now peeking that, and then what are they going to do? I mean, obviously there's a mirror facing you, but at this point, they need to realize that they should just start bringing a little bit of Twitch as well. Just say, screw the IQ or whatever, bring the Twitch and just start, slaying basically. I also disagree with the fact that they're bringing 2 hard breaches here. I don't think that it's really necessary.
Attackers need to locate
honestly,
bombs.
Drop the Thermite, bring a Twitch, or, drop the Thermite and, bring something else. I think that would be much, much better for their pushes here.
So Teller's Archives defense now from Sinister as they look to be utilizing the exact same strategy. Looks like they want to set up with the castles, Evil Eyes, reinforcements on CEO with the mirrors and the Echo Drones. Same off lineup and similar hold to hold Teller's Archives. I wonder if they're actually going to be investing as much manpower as they did last time upstairs. Maybe just stick a smoke on site with a 4-man hold topside and just hold it similarly as we saw Armada had so much trouble even getting in through with full top square control. They had no flanks coming. They just died to the peaks. So it looks like Aviation's gone downstairs. They haven't fully reinforced off the wall facing top square, but RTC is still going to be placing a mirror inside Janitor Closet towards the walls regardless. Castle barricades locking RTC in. Second mirror facing stock. Pretty standard setup. It all comes down to how long they can hold topside, how many they can take with them if they're committed to dying upstairs. And reinforcements from Smurfin coming out as well in the right panels.
Right now, I'm kind of confused, for another operator pick as well as, like, why not just bring the sledge? Like, you should see that they're bringing a castle here, you know, in the 6-pick phase. You should see that they're basically going to be doing a very similar setup. So why don't you bring the sledge? You know that there might be a maestro, you know, sitting in a very sledgeable position like we saw last time. Why do you have to waste your nades on it? Bring a sledge. Also be able to open up the castle at the same time. You know, drop the jackal at this point. Like, yeah, sure, I kind of understand why they're bringing the jackal, and that's basically to hunt down any roamers if they go basement. But at this point, you should be realizing, okay, you know, Sinister's deciding they want to hard hold. It's not just some random guy, you know, on a vigil or just, you know, sitting out there. No, they're actually committing a lot of resources to be able to hold upstairs. So you either need to say, hey, let's just go right for the site, or let's start, you know, changing our operator lineup to be able to do this. Because right now, this operator lineup is not suited to be able to break a hard hold upstairs at all. So it looks like right now we're going to see seeing Armada doing exactly that. They're going to be going right for the site. But now I'm just going to be so afraid that Sinister's just going to come, you know, flooding over these top, you know, railings at them.
If they have the kill holes in place, which they do, right below Smurfin's feet, you also have Aviation playing in behind the bookshelf. He's waiting for anyone with 81 bullets and an ACOG. Smurfin waiting for anyone to push through as well. An Echo Drone comes back to site. Now they're completely prepared for either Teller's door push. You have 2 stacking right outside the desk. Third following close behind, and now it's just up to the top hold. I mean, Armada aren't doing a single thing about it. Repairs back and forth. RTC almost landing the shot, but it's Anthony able to take down Rudy. So that's the smoke off the board. Ainsley gonna fall. Aviation grabbing and won it for himself as well before being traded out by Jay. So they're starting to aggress on the site, but they're not ready for the sipping on OJ flank. RTC takes down Detox. It's down to the Thermite and Zofia, who have the site control inside of Tellers. With the P coming from the doorway, they're both in behind. The Zofia down from above. Jay again able to trade it out. Gets the second on a sipping on OJ. It's all up to RTC in a technical 1v1. Zofia could withstand. It looks like it's exactly what Anthony has done. He'll get up. They'll both rotate into Archives, planting in the B-bomb. 10 seconds left. The plant going down by Jay. Sprays up to the floor. Lands once on RTC's foot. The plant just gets down. RTC just misses it on the rotate. Now Spray's coming up again. The Thermite gets dropped down. Anthony is 5 HP off the withstand. A 1v1 against a 3 armor Mira. No stuns left in the lifeline, but it's going to be up to RTC to hit the perfect flank down, and he goes prone as the drop to the hatch, but Anthony's still able to land the shots and take down RTC, escaping just barely in the nick of time our Armada, and they'll tie things up 1-1.
I gotta say, Armada got a little bit lucky there. A little bit of over peaking, especially from the smoke on Rudy. There, you just absolutely do not need to, let your guys from above help you out. There's absolutely zero reason to be trying to peek that. Sure, throw some smoke gas canisters, but then just cover passive angles so that when they do push in, you can help fight them. The guys above played it about as good as you can, honestly. If you're playing above, there's no pressure on them. The castles are still up. I mean, Armada sent like one guy up there, kind of late. But besides that, yeah, it's definitely not ideal that what Armada is doing. They're basically just going on a whim that they're going to be able to push on through. The lack of holes there over towards Archives was definitely their downfall, and a little bit unfortunate, but could have gotten a yokai drone hidden up in there. That might have saved the round, but that's a game of what ifs at this point. So we're going to be seeing Sinister go downstairs once again. They're going to be sitting, actually, well, it's more like middle floor, but we'll see exactly how they decide to hold it. And honestly, I see no reason to really swap it up if you're Sinister. You just need to be playing a little bit more passive inside of sight. The anchors need to just be sitting there for info, and then let the guys upstairs do a bunch of the heavy lifting.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Teller's Archives hold once again. Same ops coming out on the defense. The only attacking operator swap up is a Dokkaebi. You were calling pretty heavily for a sledge last time around. They do bring the Zofia, but you didn't really go hunting for those evil eyes. It was more to dispatch of the castle barricades for a hot moment topside, and she actually used one of the breaching rounds at the top of the reinforcement for Teller's wall. So instead of dispatching those evil eyes that were used to ping constantly inside a site, she used the utility elsewhere, and you're absolutely right, having that sledge would easily remove that intel once they can take sight. And Armada, they very narrowly escaped that round with the win. I think with Sinister, like you said, have those holes in the correct places, that round goes differently. And honestly, if Rudy doesn't over-peek there, I think if you throw a smoke canister, you see that they're coming for that full site push. Don't over-peek that. I think that round goes a lot differently to be able to repel them for a lot longer and stall them out.
Alrighty, well, this is going to be the exact same side as we saw last time, but this is going to be a very, very opposite push here from Armada. They decide, okay, we'll start actually pressuring CEO. The mirrors are now going to go up to help counter this. They are going to be sitting inside of Janitor. There goes being able to open up that castle for the first time this game. The Janitor door is now open. A couple concussions coming as well. So they've now isolated the fact that Janitor Closet is kind of the place to be. Like, that's kind of the hot spot, and they're definitely going to start working around that. But I'm looking at the time right now, and it's basically almost halfway through this round, and they really have no significant control whatsoever to brag about here. So definitely slacking a little bit, and then they're finding that these mirrors are just in not a great spot, or the shield as well. They need to be getting a nade in here, or just go ahead and push on in. Just concuss them and push on in, or get a nade in position. You have detox with those nades, so this is definitely a doable, spot. Smurfin's going to push up as well. He's going to find one. Anthony gets RTC on the overpeak, so now they have control of Janitors. Finally, with only 1 minute and 20 remaining, they need to try and find and hunt down Smurfin right here, as well as sipping on OJ at the same time. Jay is able to pick up Rudy. I'm not sure how he's dying down inside of sight. I guess he just got a little bit too aggressive over towards admin, so it's gonna be up to Aviation to hold down the site while Detox is going to continue to work upstairs. It is now a 2-on-4 in favor of Armada.
Minute left. You have the admin hole open as there was a rotate. No reinforcements coming out into the archives wall. Ainsley and Jay, the double breach pushing in as Anthony covers the archives window. Ainsley going all the way around as Aviation takes a lot of damage. Pixel peeking in towards the thermite, unable to secure the kill onto Jay either. Now making a quick shotgun hole. Anthony firing back to the soft wall. Smurfin needs to come from the flank. I believe he's still topside. Aviation falls. It's all up to Smurfin now in the 1v4 as they've lost full site control. Smurfin still upstairs. The plank gets down. And it's a copycat round. Just Armada with a lot more firepower to repel Smurfin on this retake. He's got to rotate out, so he's going to have to try and pick him off through the floor. It's Detox firing skyward that drops Smurfin. Actually, he was rotated back up square stairs as the shots were coming from below. Crossfire perfectly done. Armada back-to-back wins on that attack.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's gonna be up to Sinister at this point. Armada really isn't doing anything too crazy. Like, they're basically just walking into sight and getting a kill. That's the second round in a row where we basically saw Rudy do absolutely nothing. I mean, yeah, sure, he's sitting in sight, but you can't be dying that early. You got to be saying, okay, listen, guys, this is what they're doing. They're pushing us out upstairs as well. If you're Sinister, you go somewhere else at this point. There's no reason to be going back there. And they have decided to go for open area hold. A little bit questionable for me. I'm kind of curious as to see why exactly are they so afraid of going down into the basement there. And honestly, I would like to see them play inside a basement, do just a light roam and play it really standard. Is it the fact that there's no pulse that they're scared about? I mean, they've been playing Maestro, they've been playing Echo, so they have all the information they need. I'm not quite, being able to connect the dots here. What Sinister's plan here or strategy is on defense.
Yeah, you have all the tools at your advantage other than a Legion and a Pulse. Legion would be wonderful at dealing with the shield push if there was any shield push coming from Armada. There is no such thing happening. And then Pulse as well, I mean, slight loss of the cardiac sensor and one nitro cell. I mean, you still have a Valkyrie if you really want that nitro cell and advanced info. I mean, you've got Mira's nitro, you've got smoke at your disposal, a Maestro, Echo. You've got everything you could possibly ask for to hold CCTV lockers properly. They just seemingly have a massive aversion to it that we can't really figure out. And I don't think it's the op bans. I think it's just them as players. They just don't like the site, and I can't figure out why.
The more I watch this, I gotta kind of imagine that Sinister isn't really relying too much on like teamwork as they're relying on like gimmicky tactics. And what I mean by that is like a shield sitting inside of Janitor. Like, what are you honestly gonna do behind a shield there? You're gonna get naded when you start playing better teams. Obviously the shield didn't work out there. They're working on gimmicky setups as well. Like, a lot of it is super reliant on castle, and if Armada was able to identify that, they'd be able to go like, yep, okay, cool, well, let's just take out the castle and win the round, right? As well as the Maestros just sitting in weird spots. And yeah, sure, getting a Habana 2 charge is nice. However, it's very gimmicky when that is basically the cornerstone of your hold. Like, if like that Maestro doesn't work, you're done. Like, they have no plan whatsoever. Like, in this setup here, yeah, sure, they've got the mirrors, facing open area, but they've got really no plan. Like, what's their plan if Armada takes upstairs and then they just smoke you off? and then they drop. Like you don't have anything. I mean, you don't have the echoes anymore. So what are you going to rely on? RTC getting a lucky C4, through the smoke, or getting a lucky gas canister? Like, that's not how this game works right now. Sipping on OJ is going to, the flanks, the weird flanks. And when you start playing better teams, you're not going to be able to pull off these flanks as often. This might be well timed though, so we'll see exactly how well it works out. Yeah, it is well timed. Sipping on OJ is going to start things off by killing that thermite. So that is definitely a critical kill. Smurfing finds another one. Anthony getting a little bit too aggressive and just pushing solo. So looks like I'm going to eat my words there, as Sinister is able to actually find the openings that they needed. Oh man, that thermite patch is on the wall, but didn't get set off. That is really unfortunate. But yeah, I'm not really impressed with Sinister's strategy right now because, like I said, it's very gimmicky.
You talked about the gimmicky Evil Eyes. There was one that Aviation was watching at the bottom of Square Stairs there in the leaves. And easy spot out for the Capitao to signal Anthony to bring over, impact it away. Speaking of the Capitao, Flock going to drop Sip it on OJ. Smurf going to trade it back from inside of Tellers, though, through an impact rotation. Aviation down to about 5 HP, finished off by Ainsley. And RTC trading it right back. Detox alone in the 1v3 carrying Diffuser and Archives. Smurf playing the same corner. We'll finish him off. So the flanks, the offsite play, really the detriment to Armada there. And I got to question the Zofia push with no stuns. You got them to your advantage. Yeah. Drones, stuns, anything. You have the utility to put the engagement in your favor, and you just throw your life away. To a UMP laying prone as well.
It very, very much reminds me of the J on IQ on Border, just crouch walking in solo and no help whatsoever. It's like, dude, you have your teammates. They can help you. You have this utility that you can be using, such as like the Lions and other stuff. Like obviously they didn't have it there, but back on Border, they had a Dokkaebi and a Lion down that Bandit, but Jay just decided not to, and that's the exact same thing we saw there. The thermite dying, okay, that is really unfortunate. Nothing you can really do about that other than properly setting up flank drones and watching that sort of stuff. But besides that, the Zofia did not need to lose her life there. Trying to get too aggressive and, over peak. Like, you don't need to be going 100% on the throttle at all times. You do need to, take it a little bit slower because, it's a thinking man's game. We're not really playing, a Counter-Strike, or we're not really playing, Quake or whatever, where you just, sprint around and, just do whatever you want. No, that's not the case here.
Like I said, trade in the last minute of that round. Four times, possibly 5. And that's all Sinister did. They got a 2-man advantage, won by a good flank. The second man was just throwing his life away, and then they traded out. Every single kill from there, traded back out, because they had the 2-man advantage, and why the hell wouldn't you? They're in a perfect position at that point. They're bringing Armada to play their own game. As long as they're playing a lot heavier towards site, or they have visibility on site. The problem with their Teller's Archives hold was that they just didn't have the visibility on site. The push to site was too powerful. They had nothing to repel it. This upstairs hold, they're actively playing on site, and then with staff open area, they had a crap ton of visibility on site. They get the advantage, they trade out. They did it on CEO as well.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I gotta say, the Teller's Archives, I do believe it just comes down to it's just they're spreading themselves too thin with the Teller's Archives hold. And that's fine. And when you spread yourself too thin, you start relying on the gimmicks. However, when you're up in CEO like they are now, it's very clear that they've got a very, determined setup. They know what they want to do, and they have a plan, in terms of play positions and all that. And that tells me that at least Sinister has played, Bank. They have, a somewhat of a good, mindset of what needs to be happening. Obviously, the Teller's Archives, okay, that's one exception. However, for this upstairs site, they've got their shit figured out basically. And I do like what they're doing. They realize, okay, like, we know that they're going to be going for these walls. We want to try and impact it. Yeah, it's not really working out too well for them, but that's fine. But besides that, it's really down to Armada. Just they're not really sure, I guess is a good way to put it.
So no Blackbeard to establish that north control like we talked about in the first round, but it doesn't really matter as the breach is coming out, and the impact had to take out the wall first. Nobody shotgunned the rooftop. I'm sure Rudy's getting a near full right now, but right side able to be opened up. The left side gonna be a bit of an issue actually if anyone still has an impact. No, it's just smurfing with the impacts unless Rudy for some reason brought them just for this strat. Does not matter. Both sides of the panels get opened up with still 70 seconds left on the board. Flock's still out on the parking garage, but he's a lion. It's not the end of the world. It's got that global ability. Does not need to actually enter the building if he doesn't feel like it.
Once again, it's all on janitors. And here we go. Finally, we've decided to, they're opening it up, and that is exactly what they need to do. So RTC is now hiding behind this shield, but there's no Jaeger in play. Detox needs to get over there with a nade stat, and hopefully they figure that out. Ainsley's going to be able to call it out as well. Here comes the Lion, the miss flashes as well. Aviation's going to start things off with a pick onto Anthony. Ainsley is going to find one before being traded back by RTC. It is now a 4-on-3, but still anyone's game at this point, as Flock on the Lion has now pushed in. He finds 2 from himself. That's going to be a really, really big opening. Jay still has diffuser. He needs to try and find his way in, but there is Yokai's in play. Are they going to be able to reset themselves with 20 seconds remaining? Maybe get this IQ up. The IQ can maybe find the Yokais. This is definitely doable if you are Armada. This would be an absolutely massive play. The Thermite is going to be trying to contest over here inside of Janitors. He loses the gun duel and he's going to go down. It's going to be on Detox to try and trade it back onto RTC. He does do it. It is now up to the Yokais to win the round. That is going to be it.
Operators, you have run out of time.
You have an IQ. I'm just saying. Speed that attack up a little bit, and you have an IQ.
Yeah, get that
an
IQ.
IQ planter as well.
Yeah, I think it really did just come down to the lack of time, and
yeah,
gotta say a little bit of a misplay there, but I'm not really gonna blame him for that, just because hey, like your time
last
is low.
second push, you're panicking. You need to get the plant down. You have the man advantage. Of course, you think get plant.
Yeah.
Just speed that up a little bit more. I mean, the problem with that is Armada, like they just until Flock kind of just like you said can open the backside of the site, there was nothing for Armada. They had no entry. They're stalling out. They're constantly getting peeked from behind mirrors and behind deployables and traded out by peaks while there's a guy detected by the EOD wide peeking you and you still lose the engagement. Like, Armada just threw bodies at a wall until Flock came in. He's the MVP on that round, hands down, coming in behind and causing enough chaos for everyone in Sinister to turn away. Because everyone just tried piling in through the janitor closet door or the breach holes, and there's mirrors and a person playing behind a deployable looking doll.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the whole like linchpin here, if you were attacking on Armada, is they were really slow in opening up that janitor castle. They finally understood, and I don't know who made that call to open it up with the Habana, but that needed to be done like first thing. I mean, like literally first 20 seconds, you're into square, and you start opening up that janitor door. Apply that pressure. Don't just let it, go until the very end. Yeah, that TV can be broken with bullets, man. Ooh, yeah, no, Sinister's definitely seeing that. I don't imagine a world where that TV
survives.
I was honestly the shotgun might hit it.
Detox got it. Yeah, he's almost hitting it.
That is, oh man, yeah. You got to realize, man, if the surface that is planted on goes down, that it's just getting destroyed. It's not like a vault camera; it just falls down. No, it straight gets destroyed. We're gonna see now Ainsley versus the rest of Sinister here. Basically sitting in garage. He does have an escape route, and it is through the ramp. He has an echo drone as well, so he's gonna be able to back up. He gets that early intel. But okay, there's a Monty pushing here, boys. He's being supported here by a Lion as well as a drone. So we now have Sinister has a very clear idea of where they want to try and spearhead this attack, and that's going to be from the garage, but that's not going to be enough. I feel like they need to start working on servers as well.
They got the double breach to grab hatch control as well. They didn't reinforce the garage walls. They wanted that long angle to get all the way into the default plant spot in server, which is not a bad idea, especially when you're playing an ACOG in garage. Then you got a Monty and a Lion pushing garage. They're opening up hatches from above. There was no roaming presence at all. They're playing 5 on site, just trying to turtle strat it out. And Sinister are bringing a lineup that can deal with this very effectively.
Yeah, exactly. And it will be a west side push. It's going to be a vault drop for sure, as well as the elevator drop with the Montang. You see Flock is playing with his life over there, right underneath the elevator. He's doing a decent job. He's slowing down the push a little bit. I feel like if he wasn't there, he would have they would have already dropped by now. But because he's there, that is going to be the Monty now dropping, and to push him out. Flock, he's playing with it. just barely his feet. He will be able to survive, but he is going to be called out. Here comes down the smoke. We should be seeing a drop from Sinister to start things off here. Another re-smoke to start things off. There are feed holes in position to try and deny this plant. A C4 coming out from Jay is going to do little in terms of the overall advantage. Ainsley's going to find one with that Echo using the MP5 SD. Aviation's looking down through those footholds, but Rudy comes in through the window and finds two. He knows in the call out. He finds another one, finds a third with a melee. RTC finishing out with a TK as well. That was well executed from Sinister.
Ooh, just an unlucky cross.
Yeah,
Tried to get to the
really.
vault door, but hey, you round out the round, and Sinister convincingly on their first attack go for a vault push. I feel like I haven't seen a well-executed vault side push in a year, maybe more. It has been forever since I've seen one actually like very well and cleanly executed like that.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it did come down to Rudy. You know, Rudy was able
Yeah.
to jump in there, got 2 pistol kills, got a melee kill, and he opened up the round for them. That's really what it comes down to. A vault side push really does come down to just being able to find those picks. They had an interesting twist on it though, because they actually smoked off vault. Normally what a lot of teams have been doing is they usually just drop and then they go and immediately contest vault, either with the shield or just with, you know, entering and trying to kill it. But Sinister, they smoked it off. You know, they had the Dokkaebi above and then they smoked it off and then they dropped on the Lion. I gotta say that's an interesting way to do it. However, it also worries me because once that smoke fades, guess what? You're basically that's it. Oh no, Anthony.
Are you doing
there
it?
It goes.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
What?
You
I have
you
my
had
hands
it.
in the air at this point, man. I
You
have my hands
had
in the
it.
air. What? Hello?
What are you doing?
10 seconds.
Ah! Just
Okay.
putting the 2 other TVs.
My
5 seconds.
my only like saving grace for that is maybe the game will give it to him because it's like in between the 2 TVs, like the middle portion of it.
Yeah.
Maybe the game will give it to him if the TV. I don't know. I'm doubtful,
That is-
but knowing this game, maybe.
Like he even breaks the painting, so he knows that it's a thing. Oh man, dude, that is questionable. He's lucky that that Sinister's not going for a server side push. Yeah, no, that is not at all ideal. Exact same thing. So they're using this Monty on Rudy to be able to gain control of Garage, and then they rotate the Monty out to be able to go and help for a push elsewhere, namely for the elevator as well as the vault drop. Really, it's basically so that Lion isn't just by himself here. He is really just to help escort the Lion, get the Lion behind, you know, the truck, and then escape. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead. He's gonna back out. Flock though, he's in a power position right now. Sinister probably has 0 clue that he's up here, and I really do like the swap up from him. And it's really going to be on timing. You know, can he hit the right timing to be able to make this play? The hatches are already open. Oh no, they 1000% know that he's up there. There's no reason for Aviation to be up here just solo. There has to be a drone. There's Smurfing on the drone as well. So they know that he's up there. He has been marked. The Lions are coming out. They're going to slowly collapse on him. And surprise, Aviation is in position to clear that out. Great job from Sinister. I honestly have no idea how they knew that he was up there. Maybe they saw a drone. Maybe he like escaped up earlier and killed a drone. Regardless, that was the play. We're going to probably see an exact same thing. They're probably going to smoke off vault, and then they're going to go for a drop. But this time they've actually reinforced those west walls of vault. But there is a thermite exactly dedicated to counter that. So this really shouldn't be a problem if you are Sinister. Honestly, if you're Sinister and you see that that is reinforced, that's a good thing for you, because obviously that thermite can drop safely, whereas there's speed holes last time that they were really worried about.
So Jay is now gone for the long con on the flank, and he's right beside the teller's desk as they're just about to drop. All coalescing right behind the hash. He's looking elevator, takes the 1 tap, heads desk, takes 2. That's RTC and Smurfing off the board. The vault came out, actually pushed back into tellers and archives, lights him up, or at least lands 1 shot on his backside as he dips through archives, evacuates all the way to server stairs. Jay still pre-firing detox takedown, sipping on OJ, so it's just to Rudy and Aviation. Evil Eye from behind, distracting him. Detox shuts down Aviation as he tried to last second push server. It's all up to the shield. Rudy grabs 1, but Detox from inside. CCTV will take down Rudy. Armada holding on. The flank really, again, being the saviors of that round, as the sight hold was doing okay, but it was the the monstrosity of that flank of the Mira that really saved them.
I gotta say, I'm actually fairly impressed here from Armada. They identified a weakness of their hold and what the enemy was doing, and they properly countered that. Like that's basically as textbook as you can get. You know, this obviously the first flank didn't really work out, but then it made Sinister drop their guard. They dropped their guard, and it was all on the Mira on Jay. Came in very, very handy. Not sure if I would have sent Mira up there, but whatever. You know, might as well, right? It worked out very, very well. So great job there from Armada. Props to you. Sinister, they just tried to do the same thing. It worked out for them pretty well the first round. So I can't really fault them too much for wanting to go and try and do the exact same thing. However, that second flank was just really their downfall. Is this Chonka actually sticking?
We are through 6-pick. It's sticking.
It's stuck.
It's a CEO defense as well. So I'm just maybe he meant Capcan. He's AFK currently, so I don't know if Anthony's fully there right now. You good, bud?
Hello?
Oh, he's here.
He's moving.
He's home.
I
Where
can't.
Are you going, bud?
I'm not going to say that this is like a planned pick. Maybe if this was a planned pick, then fuck me, man. Like what? That's all I can say with this because, dude, you have so many of those north windows. Like, where are you ever going to sit in one spot and be safe on a Chonka turret? Like that, it doesn't exist. Is basically it. I mean, maybe he's got some god spot that I can't think of. Maybe inside of like meeting room. But what?
I don't know. I was gonna say maybe stock because you've got 2 hard walls at your back, but the floor below you is breachable. Like I don't know where this is supposed to be.
I mean, it's going up in meeting.
So it's just to watch the back push.
What?
Behind him here?
I don't really. I'm at a loss here.
I don't.
He has absolutely no. He looked like he was pretty lost.
There's a castle barricade there though. What is he?
Yeah.
It's just for the meeting room door push. You can't turn it around unless you fix it up and moves it.
I mean, I guess. I mean, what? I mean, okay, listen. Sinister's going for a west side push, so maybe we're just dumb. Maybe like this is like the 200 IQ.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that we're dumb.
Yeah, no, that is a confirmed. But I'm failing to see how this is really going to work out. Like,
oh, he's moving it.
Okay, so yeah, so now he's moved it, but there's still a soft wall to his left, and he has basically no cover from the left. I kind of see what the idea is, but
if they breach the panel and he looks left, it's over.
Yeah, like I mean, okay, well, I guess we'll see as the rest of Sinister is now going to start collapsing in onto the site. Those castle barricades are going to prove a little bit difficult here. It's going to be on the Habana to really open these up. Habana's their only way they open these up. You could sit there smacking it, but at this point, it's just not really worth it. Yeah, see, like that door is just barricaded. Like what happens? Yeah, the Mira is going to go ahead and get Habana. He's going to go ahead and reposition this turret as well so that it is now facing the right way. It's going to be Jay pushing up super aggressive. Jay, that is not the play at all, as he is going to lose his life and he's going to get punished for it. We're going to see the Chonka of the Lord is now down to just over 25 HP. That is definitely unfortunate. He's getting yinged at the exact same time. He cannot see anything. Ainsley is going to be the saving grace here. He's going to be coming up from main stairs. I would have rather have seen him push up from curved stairs, however, because now he's basically fighting the exact same battle as the rest of his teammates. The rest of the utility from Sinister is coming out as Dokubi calls ring out. The Monty is going to start moving forward as well, and the plant is going to be coming down inside of B, or at least it is going to be starting soon. Ainsley is now going to engage, and he finds something on OJ. He finds the second one onto Aviation as well. So now it is a 4-on-3, actually in favor of Armada, but the smoke come out from RTC. Rudy's going to just absolutely cause havoc inside of CEO. Not really much that Anthony can do here on the Chonka. Would have been nice if he was a captain. How would it? Oh, well for him. There it is now Ainsley. He is downstairs. Ainsley needs to make a play, but he runs into a Claymore. What? That is going to be the round there, as Smurfin is going to find a kill as well. It is going to be all Detox. He has about a 0.0% chance of winning this, and that is going to be it. Sinister's going to take it now on to match point.
Match point, series point. It looked like Armada might have been the ones to take down Sinister and end the undefeated streak. However, their defensive holds have left a bunch to be desired lately. 1 round away from closing this out on bank are Sinister and Maintaining. They do send it 3 maps, so the round differential will continue to suffer, but not as bad as DG's did. So they will maintain that tie break. Montaigne coming out again from Rudy.
Yeah, I'm so confused with the Tachanka pick, dude. Like we saw that's basically textbook as to why that doesn't work, is that you really can't sit in one spot ever. Like he eventually just he tried to reposition it, but then like they're not gonna peek into your shield. Like they're just gonna find another way around, and that other way around was just going through the north side to try and do it. I don't understand. Another thing is that why is CEO so favored here? Like I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because teams don't know how to take CEO is the only reason why they're playing it. But obviously, you know now what Sinister is going to do. They're going to run the Monty up. They're going to bring the Ying into position. Ainsley did a decent job, actually. You know, he made a well-timed push up main stairs and was able to slow down the other, pinch, the other, half of the pinch from Sinister. But it was just not enough because they still are giving up all of Lounge. They're giving up the quad window hallway. They've given up the front desk as well because of that shield. Like, what are you honestly going to do here? They're going to be just sitting up on window repels as well. So you're now forced into corners against a Ying and a Monty. Like, there's no way. There's no play here.
Windows immediately getting sprayed open. Ainsley putting on a mute jammer to precarious position if he crossed back at just the right angle. Aviation's pre-fire might have actually taken him down, and Smurfin misses 2 run past. So the heads go flying by, and now Jay trying to peek that with a vector. New person's going to rappel up and try and take the exact same angle as everyone is just turning into a peek battle from across the map.
What is this mirror? What? This mirror is getting taken out the second that Smurfin gets an angle on it from this rappel, as well as Aviation is now on rappel as well. Like, this is not looking good at all, and they're also going to start to basically feign an attack from the opposite side with that Habana, even though it's from rappel. So now I think Armada is going to get kind of baited into thinking that they're actually also pushing from the opposite side. Is it jam?
Yeah, it's jam.
Yeah, it has to. It has to be jam there. So honestly, they got really lucky. But there goes the jammer now. Yeah, you can't set a jammer there, well, because you just get on rappel and just counter that easily. So now most of Armada is now also looking the opposite direction, even though there's absolutely no one going there. We're going to be seeing Rudy's going to start things off as well. A little bit of getting killed. Ooh, Jay almost had it, but he's stuck. There's nowhere he can sit at all. There's not enough angles or anchor positions for him to sit. So he's going to go down while Rudy is going to continue to harass. Aviation's going to finish him off. Gotta say, I'm not looking too good, actually, for Armada.
Armada scrambling. Ying Candela's coming out as Ainsley's on the flank once again as a Nitro. Rudy being repelled by the Toxic Babe, but makes his way into the B bomb. A castle barricade gets impacted and Flock takes down Aviation. That's Diffuser dropped down, and we're down to a 4v4 with a minute left in the round.
Yeah, exactly. So now Flock is actually kind of the guy you want to be watching here, as well as Ainsley on the flank. Ainsley was able to find one. Detox is taking out his own mirror so that he doesn't get punished by it. Ainsley, once again, on these main stairs, he's going to really be a thorn in Sinister's side. Rudy is up there, and he has the diffuser, so it's really just, can they get the coverage in? Smurfin's going to start things off towards the end of this round. Ainsley's going to go down. Does RTC have smokes? If RTC has the smokes, then this is definitely a winnable round here for Sinister. They just need to try and find it. Oh, Flock is playing with his life as Smurfin goes down. So now it's going to be up to RTC plus the shield. This is definitely doable. RTC has been in more difficult situations and he has been clutched out. So he is going to go down, but it's actually a reset at the same time. But no, Flock is going to take that advantage. He's going to push up, and Armada actually stays alive. Armada just barely sticking in there, and I gotta say, yikes, because now they have to go back downstairs. Now, they actually made a very decent play trying to stop, a basement push, or actually a vault side push the second time around. But now it's going to be on Sinister. And if I was Sinister, I would go for a servers push. Go for a servers push. Just do it standard. Don't do anything crazy. Watch your flanks, and you will win this round. There's absolutely no way that I can really see Armada really stopping them. Yeah, they have the Echo Drone. That's good on them. They have the Maestro. Cool, good on them, although it's put on a TV. But regardless, they have the smoke. That's good. And they have 2 C4. If you had any lineup to try and stop this, this is the defensive lineup that you want to really kind of stop a server push. But even then, as long as it's executed correctly here from Sinister, there's really not much you can do. We're going to be seeing a 6-pick. Nope, not a 6-pick from Valkyrie. We are going to stick the Val. Like I said, it's going to come down to flanks. Can Sinister watch the flank, and can they get through it if they decide to go for a server push, or are they going to do a vault?
It's been the rotation, so no line being brought out this time. Bring in the Ying and the smokes on the Dokkaebi once again from RTC while pushing downstairs. Almost identical lineup being brought out from Armada. No, I actually don't remember. I think it might have been a Legion. No, Legion's banned.
Legion's banned, yeah.
I do not. Okay, are we really? Are we doing this again? Hey!
Hey!
You did it!
Yeah! Maybe
Proud.
he got the memo. Maybe he got the memo.
Yeah, maybe someone DM'd him and told him, hey, you're not intelligent.
Oh, that's throwing shade. Throwing shade indeed.
It's
so regardless, it is, but we'll get right on into it. So now Rudy has actually spawned over towards the garage once again, and I can't help but think this actually looks like another vault push, just based off the way that this Monty is going. Flock is going to be starting upstairs, and he's going to be hiding in a corner, and he is taking a gamble. And that gamble is the fact that that they didn't see him, but chances, did they see him or not, or is Aviation just rotating on over? I do not know. Regardless, Flock tried this last round, and he got spotted out. And here comes the Smurfing drone, and they have probably spotted him. I don't see. Yeah, he has definitely been spotted. The drone, the gig is up, man. The shield is here, coming and knocking. Ooh, actually, he didn't even kill the drone. It just went down. Aviation's gonna start spamming. Oh, he doesn't even realize it. Oh, he does now. It's a 1v1. Oh, that's not a 1v1. Sippin is going to go ahead and clean him up, flashing his teammate at the same time, but he is able to get the headshot. That was about as easy of a clear as you could ever get. Good job and great, droning from them. Now they just need to make sure that Jay doesn't just walk up somewhere. I think that is really going to be the big deal. Jay is actually supported here by Ainsley on that yokai drone. But is it gonna be? Oh no! I was about to say. Oh. I thought he was gonna get spotted there, but not quite the case. Jay, like I said, still supported here by this Echo drone. Jay's gonna try and capitalize on it, but not really able to. Ainsley inside a garage needs to make sure he's watching his back, because at the last time we've been seeing a lot of garage pressure. Not really much happening from Sinister. I think they're just kind of setting up for just taking general control around. They're gonna start opening up the hatches. We haven't seen these hatches set up or opened up before, which means it's probably gonna be a server take.
Spin on OJ holding the main stairs, so they do have that man advantage. Another Nitro cell falling off the board as Flock was eliminated early on the roam clear. Like you said, the A hatch being opened up. You have two pushing the server with Rudy and Aviation. An Echo drone spotted out immediately by Aviation on the yellow ping. Good call from the team. Only one left, and it's over by Garage. First Toxic Bay being sent out with a minute left, but Candelas come flying in. Detox completely blind. The flush coming in from Sinister to push everyone out. Phone calls coming in as well. Still at the man disadvantage, the smoke repelling them, holding them at bay for now. Detox surviving the onslaught. There's one more Candela left for sipping on OJ. Smurfing still has the ability to open the hallway hatch as well. Now pushing in solo is Rudy Cat on the Montaigne. Coming CC Dorville. Second smoke canister going to be used. Pushing back into the corner. Rudy just being a nuisance, pushing even deeper in. I'm going to start pushing the door. He's taking a little bit of damage as the rest of that smoke expires. He's still worried about his backside. He needs to be worried about this plant. He needs to get his last Echo drone in there and start utilizing it to stop this plant. Can't get the default wall open as they start crouching up a little bit further, shooting towards the Evil Eye. This could be detrimental as Aviation is going to go down, but no, they shoot it at the last possible second, but Detox with the rush over the desk, and now he's just looking skyward as Rudy's unable to repel him back. The plant going down by RTC, the Echo drone stalling out. Did RTC get the Echo drone, or are they sticking the plant? He's sticking the plant. Jay with the TK on Anthony. It's down to the 2v2. RTC completely sticking the plant, but the Nitro from Jay. He saves the day.
Jay, what are you doing?
Almost the throw, and then saves it, and we go into overtime on Bank on map number 3.
What? What are you doing? Knock, knock, hello?
Boy.
Oh my goodness. I was actually really worried there. And honestly, that was pretty clutch. So it was really on the Echo, whoever's playing that the Echo drone there, we're playing on Echo, able to stop both of those, or the first thermite charge basically stopped them completely. They had absolutely zero control there, and they tried to thermite that soft wall. They had no other soft destruction, and it just did not work out at all for them. So I gotta say, good job actually able to hold on there. I think Sinister could have gone a little bit faster. I think after they killed that roamer, I mean, they did a good job killing the roamer, but after that, they definitely slowed up. You know, they didn't really have a good plan there of what they needed to do. That Maestro was there as well. You know, Echoes, they did a decent job. Even though Flock died early, it worked out in their favor just because, again, Sinister just a little bit too slow there. Alrighty, so now in the middle of prep phase, it is now 20 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and get on into it. Once again, we're going to be seeing a very similar lineup from both Armada and Sinisters with a few changes. It is getting late. We're going to be seeing a mute from Flock instead of the Valkyrie. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what they decided to do. Maybe he's just going to try and go and roam again, you know, throw up some jammers, try and hide it up, as well as we're going to be seeing RTC now moving off the Dokkaebi and now onto his Zofia. Bringing in that soft destruction tells me that they're probably going to go for another server push again, but this time they're actually going to have a way to open up this wall, as well as clearing out those Maestro Evil Eyes. So good job for him. It will be a Flock. It looks like on a solo roam, maybe supported by a yokai drone. Not sure exactly how they decide to do it, but once again, we're going to be seeing Sippin on OJ plus Rudy with the Monty and Ying combo going to be going and trying to hunt Flock out.
Yeah, Flock going for the rotate, still putting down mute jammers in open area as the roam clear. Gonna try and spot him out. They did a good job of assessing where the Valkyrie was topside last time. First round of overtime. Still need to win by a score difference of 2, but they will swap back and forth every round on the sides. A little bit of a different operator lineup, like Talon touched on, but Flock doesn't really have a lot of help here on the roam. There's no one in a close position to flank up a staircase and establish a crossfire. Ruby's starting to pitch off his only rotate and finally spots him out. Be wary of the server stairs. Doesn't want to push him too aggressively. RTC thinking about opening up a hole for him. That's exactly what will happen. The hole will get opened up into admin. He's burned over a minute this time, so the roam at least doing a decent job of stalling out. Flock holding on the right-hand corner directly on the hatch.
He is going to now fall at the hands of Aviation, and like you said, about a minute and a minute and a half has been wasted. So that is now half the round that has been wasted for just one guy. I gotta say, I think this is actually worth it in this case, and the reason why I say that is because honestly, Sinister isn't really looking too special. I mean, honestly, they've got the walls open, or they've got the hatches open, but what past that? Like, they need to start getting into servers now, and they really are just barely starting to get servers control now with that Monty. You know, they already wasted one impact trying to open up a hole to try and kill that roamer, but besides that, they need to use this other one, you know, downstairs inside of servers. With about a minute left, honestly, Sinister's big play here is just to completely collapse on site to try and distract while the plant is going off. You still have the Maestro King, Evil Eye should be up, as well as 2 yokai drones as well. Jay is going to push up, and could he catch off someone? He's going to go all the way up, supported here by this yokai drone. This could actually be really, really huge if he can hit the right timing. And by timing, I mean he needs to go now, because it is 30 seconds left in the round. That's who's going to start happening. He needs to get down there, needs to start, you know, fighting the enemy attackers.
OJ going to grab Detox and Anthony as the push into sight. Sinister almost have full control now. It's all up to Ainsley on site, and Jay coming for the flank in. Blows the server hatch, but the plant goes down. Sipping on OJ drops Ainsley. It's in the 1v5. Takes out the Claymore, the pre-fire, but Jay wins the battle against RTC. Zofia will fall, still 4 to find. Insurmountable task here is the Montaigne. At the top of the server stairs, the Nitro going to miss long inside, and Rudy pulls up the P9. That's going to put Sinister on match point, series points. Map 3, overtime. Win by 2, and the series is yours.
Like I said, much better handled there from Sinister. And basically, I want to say I called it. They got the plant started, and then they have the distraction on the Ying, just push right on through. Great job from Sippin on OJ, able to pick up 3 kills when his team needed it most. So really, really well timed there from Sinister. Jay probably would have been better help downstairs in the site. That flank was just a little bit too late, and that's what I said. I was really, really worried when I saw him initially going for it, because like, oh, is he gonna have enough time? This is gonna be a little bit late. He's only a 1 speed. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. And plus that yokai being out of position as well. So that's one yokai that effectively cannot stop that plant. it's just too much. You know, you really just needed all that downstairs, you know, as well as a C4 on Jay could have, you know, been used downstairs. That mute could have been used, you know, with the C4 down there. So yeah, sure, you wasted a little bit of time with that mute, but it turned out not really worth it there for Armada. And so now they are on the back foot as Sinister once again is on match point.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Match point, series point, in overtime, all sights unlocked. And they choose to head to staff and open. And realistically, it was the flank of Sippin' on OJ and Smurfin that won them this round. It set them up in the 5v3. They trade down to a 3v1. They win on pure numbers alone. Just everyone in a position to trade out as soon as someone falls. This wouldn't be the first site I'd head to. Is I'm sure Armada are going to be much more wary of the flanks coming, as it's been Sinister's whole game plan, really, is to get that early advantage off a flank you're not expecting, whether it was on border or here on bank. That was the strategy, and that was kind of the entirety of the strategy. Like you said a couple times on border, there wasn't anything monumental or special being brought from Sinister. They were playing a smart game, but nothing that Armada couldn't handle. It was their own mistakes that were putting them at the detriment, and now they stand. Match point, I just don't think that Armada's going to fall for it a second time in a row.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I don't see why they didn't just go to CEO again. It's pretty obvious that Armada just has no clue how to handle this like sort of CEO pressure or CEO play. I'm glad that they didn't go Towers Archives at the very least. However, like I said, I think that they definitely could have been better going up to CEO, just based off the fact that Armada just has no clue what they're doing up there. Like that, nothing else really matters besides that. But we're going to go ahead and get things started. So the hatches are going to start getting opened upstairs inside of open area. Sipping on OJ, probably going to start going on a flank here. He's, you know, prepped inside of lobby to go up those curved stairs and to try and fight any sort of attackers upstairs. Ainsley seems to have like an idea that might happen, but he's still kind of wary while at the same time. Jay is going to be losing his life, I think, a little bit to an evil eye. So as well, yeah, it's definitely an evil eye, and as well as getting stopped by, or stopping the thermite charge. Well, we are all dead, it seems. So it's slowly coming back for me, but we'll try to get it back up for as quickly as possible. The evil eye is placing a sneaky position over there by the car. I think it was finally cleared out. Hopefully they'll be able to start going in for a site push much sooner.
I got nothing.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm refreshing. Hopefully we'll be able to bring it up for you. Okay, well, I'm back. It's about a minute remaining, and it is a 4-on-4. Armada has lost the IQ, but the thermite is still, you know, up there, and we have the Jaeger dead sipping on OJ. The flank has failed, so this is not looking good for Sinister at all. They do have someone upstairs, and it's going to be all up to Ainsley really on these hatches to really try and make something happen. Flock as well is sitting on the first floor square, ready to try and, you know, get all these defenders outside or out of that kitchen. The Lion's going to be called as well. Aviation is backed into a corner as Smurfin is going to start things off, but Anthony immediately trades it right on back. It is now a 3-on-3. Not much is happening. Rudy is stuck right in behind a shield that is up on the kitchen table, I guess you could say. The kitchen, you know, prep desk, 19 seconds remaining. It's going to be Ainsley going to go ahead and drop into sight, but this evil eye is absolutely hounding him. It's going to be taken out. About 10 seconds remaining. Rudy finds one. RTC finds another. It's going to be all up to Ainsley to try and really hold down the fort. What's going to be happening here? I can't quite see it, but RTC is going to be able to clean it up, and that is going to be Sinister winning this round. That's going to be 2-1 in favor of Sinister.
So Sinister able to take